Меньше остается и Евгений Шиповалов. Большая компания, которая будет преследовать Локнер, Вольцан, Рогозина, Летучего, Михайлова, Прохорова, Белозерова.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dear ski friends. God dag, kjære tilhengere av langrenn og skidår. Buongiorno, dobre popoludnie. Sejcenat visi, slabušan draugi, savadika. We start the live streaming from the World Cup roller skiing from the Russian city sports center Khanty-Mansijsk. The third stage of the World Cup, actually that's the second stage, but including the World Championships which took place 1.5 weeks ago in a Latvian skiing center Madona. And we can count that this competition in Khanty-Mansijsk is the third stage of the World Cup. Yesterday it was the first day of this stage in Khanty-Mansijsk, and athletes competed in a free technique prologue distance, and according to the yesterday's result, today they compete in a classical style pursuit distance. So very exciting race expected today. And yesterday junior ladies started first. Today the turn for the senior ladies to open the second day of the World Cup roller skiing here in Khanty-Mansijsk. Of course we know Khanty-Mansijsk from the World Cup. Several years World Cup in biathlon has taken place here in Khanty-Mansijsk. But the second year in a row the World Cup in roller skiing, the summer discipline of cross-country skiing. So big plans for the Khanty-Mansijsk also in the future to host the World Cup in cross-country skiing in the winter. But though this beautiful and very good prepared track is ready for the second day, and the senior ladies has started. Yesterday we had very exciting race in the battle for the victory between the Slovakian Alona Prochaskova and local favorite Svetlana Nikolaeva. So they were at the end separated by just 2 seconds. In the beginning Nikolaeva was in the lead, then Prochaskova overtook the Russian and won the first day. And Prochaskova from Slovakia won after 1 year when she last time won last year in Italy, the World Cup roller skiing. And we can say the top 3 guns, the top 3 stars finished in top 3 places. Those I mean who has very good results during the winter and also during the roller skiing in the summer. Alona Prochaskova also the World Cup winner in the winter in the sprint event. Svetlana Nikolaeva has won 2 gold medals at the Under-23 championships 9 years ago. And Evgeny Shapovalov we know very good from the sprint races. She has been several times in the final in the winter in the sprint races. Also participated in the Olympic Games in Vancouver, also in Sochi Games, also at several World Championships. But now the race started, and of course Prochaskova is bib number 1, the yesterday's winner. Nikolaeva second place with the bib number 2. Shapovalov was bib number 3, and then the 4th was best Swede Jacqueline Lochner. Unfortunately we are missing the World Cup current leader and triple world champion from last weekend in Madona, Lynn Sömskar. She became ill and could not participate, unfortunately. So it's the time and opportunity for Prochaskova to reduce the gap, and maybe after the Khanty-Mansijsk stage, after the Sundays must start, to be in the lead in front of Lynn Sömskar. Of course, Nikolaeva has taken medals at the World Roller Skiing Championship. The same has done also Prochaskova. Both on the screen you can see. Prochaskova has been number 1 in the red helmet. The Russian Nikolaeva has been number 2. As they were separated just 2 seconds, of course, no problem. Svetlana's Nikolaeva task was to catch Prochaskova in a few first meters, and she has done that, and now they work together. So the third fastest Shapovalov was 23 seconds behind, and that's quite big difference. Maybe Jacqueline Lochner, who's actually better in the sprint. It's difficult, the same as Shapovalov, so maybe, but they were separated by 12 seconds. Maybe Lochner will try to catch Shapovalov. Also Lisa Bolton, best Italian, the twin sister, was in the 5th place, losing to Prochaskova 40 seconds, but to Shapovalov 17 and Lochner 5 seconds. Maybe they will try to make a group and try to work together to catch those 2. But of course Prochaskova and Nikolaeva will be the favorites, the hot favorites for the victory also today. Prochaskova has produced quite good results in a classical style distance, and Nikolaeva has been better in the free technique, but Nikolaev's task is to hold the back of Prochaskova as long as possible. 1.5 weeks ago, during the World Championships in Madonna, Nikolaeva was absent in the classical style distance on the first day. She didn't compete. She was involved only in the second day when the sprint event took place in the center of Madonna Street. But Prochaskova in a Smetsov track in Madonna, which is also preparing for the World Championship for youth and junior in the biathlon in 2021. As Khanty-Mansijsk is preparing for the World Cup during the winter in cross-country skiing. So Prochaskova earned the 4th place, finishing just behind the podium, which was completed by Lynn Sumskar, and the favorite, the Russian Natalia Nepraeva, for the first time participated in the World Championships roller skiing, the Olympic 4th place winner in the sprint and 2 times bronze medal winner in Zerfeld this year, won the first day in Madonna. I mean Nepraeva in the classical style distance, and Lucia Scordoni from Italy was 2nd in this classical style distance, and Sumskar was 3rd and Prochaskova was 4th. So we can reckon with the strength of Prochaskova, and she's also a very good finisher. Then we saw for the moment bib number 4, that was Jacqueline Lochner, bib number 8, that's Olga Mikhailova, the Russian. She's also a participant of the Russian relay team 8 years ago at the World Championships in the winter in the Holmenkollen in Norway's capital Oslo. Then the Russian team finished into the 6th place. So Mikhailova is also one we should reckon with in a battle for the top 3, for the 3rd place. As I told, Prochaskova, Nikolaeva, the favorites on the screen for you. First 2 places. That will be the big surprise if any other athletes will try to squeeze among them those 2, the leading 2. And of course Shapovalova, Rogozina with bib number 6, and Mikhailova. And the same Lochner as well. Maybe difficulties for Lisa Paulsen, the 5th place winner, the Italian, also medalist from the World Roller Skiing Championships. She won the last day the silver medal in the team sprint with Lucia Scordoni. She's better in the must-start distances, in the free technique, and also in the sprint, of course, but not so good in the classical style. With bib number 3, we can see Evgenia Shapovalova working on her own. And Evgenia Shapovalova, 27th 5 years ago at the Olympic Games in Sochi, 28th she was in Vancouver Games in a sprint event. During the World Championship she was 19th 12 years ago when the World Championship took place in Japan in Sapporo. So this year in China she was 19th in a sprint event, 1.5 kilometer distance, 8th was in a shorter sprint, 200 meters, and 22nd in the must-start distances. But 11 years ago, Shapovalova finished in Otepin, very strong field, 3rd in roller skiing competition. That was in 2008. So now we can see Shapovalova has a 26 seconds gap. That was 23. Now Rogozina Lochner. Rogozina has a 44 seconds, and she lost the 40. So some 4 seconds added Rogozina, but others dropping back and losing a lot of time during the first part, first quarter of the distance. Yeah, Rogozina losing 44, almost 45 seconds. Then Jacqueline Lochner, Mikhailova Bolson also behind the leader more than 1 minute. The Latvian Kiti Auziņa has claimed up. Kiti Auziņa is the 2nd best now Latvian cross-country skier, because the junior Patricija Eiduka, who won the 10th and 11th place at the World Junior Championship, 36, she was at the Zerfeld, the best Latvian cross-country skier Patricija Eiduka, and Kiti Auziņa established herself as a 2nd and 3rd with Inga Paškovska. Now she finished yesterday into the 11th place. Now she has claimed up to the 8th position, losing 12 seconds to Bolza and Mikhailova. But here comes to complete lap number 1. Together it's 3 laps and total distance 11.25 kilometers. So 3 laps, and first lap will be soon completed by the 2 leaders. Prochaskova in front, and just so close behind her Nikolaeva from a Russian Federation. Then Shapovalova on her own into the 3rd place. But very good day for the local Russian team yesterday. Russians won 8 podium places. We have 4 groups, senior men and women, and junior men and women, and totally 12 podium places, and 2/3 earned Russians with 1 victory, 3 silvers, and 4 third places. Italy won 2 podium places, 1 victory, 1 second place, and Sweden and Slovakia 1 podium place, and each Sweden and Slovakia one victory. Yes, 4 nations won yesterday. Russia once, the same did Italy, Sweden and Slovakia. So Sweden won with Johan Egberg in the junior class, Slovakia with Alena Prochaskova, Italy with Matteo Tunnel in the senior men, and Russia with Arina Belinko, the junior winner. So again, juniors making the most ground as they did in the World Championship, where Russia won the medal table in front of Sweden and Italy. Now we can see Shapovalova, the sprinter, and here with bib number 6 following Rogozina. So Rogozina will close the gap, not so much, 22 seconds behind Shapovalova. Shapovalova holds the same 24 seconds as she had at the 2.4 kilometer intermediate. So at the moment, not any significant moves. Maybe we can praise Rogozina, who has claimed from the 6th to 4th place, and leaving closest rivals like Lochner and Mikhailova, we can see on the screen now, into the 5th and the 6th accordingly. And then they are losing 1 minute and 17. So gradually, but they are losing the time. And here comes Italian Lisa Bolton, the best Italian. She has a twin sister, Anna Bolton. She finished 12th. And also we can see Latvian Auziņa into the 8th. Prieks par Kitijas pakāpšanos augstāk. And Olga Letocheva, the sprint specialist, the world junior champion in a sprint event. Twice she won the world roller skiing sprint for juniors. And also in 2017 in Sweden, Olga Letocheva won the senior sprint. But 1.5 weeks ago, Letocheva was not so lucky in the seats of Madonna. She was not among the top 3. So for the first time finishing in a sprint at the World Championship outside the medals. So actually this year not so good for Olga Letocheva, but maybe here in Khanty-Mansijsk she will try to reach some good results. She finished 7th yesterday, and she has plenty of victories also during the World Cup stages, but not only in a sprint event. Here we can see that Nikolaeva has taken the lead, and she works now in front of Prochaskova, and then on the back of your screen, Evgenia Shapovalova, who did not participate last year in Khanty-Mansijsk. Prochaskova participated, was twice on the podium. Nikolaeva opened with a victory last year World Cup in Khanty-Mansijsk, when first time Khanty-Mansijsk city hosted this World Cup roller skiing. And maybe in 2021 the Khanty-Mansijsk will be the host city of the World Championships. Like in the winter in cross-country skiing, also in the roller skiing, World Championships takes place once in 2 years. And this is Khanty-Mansijsk city, which is located a little bit diagonally to the north and east from the capital Moscow, some 2,000 kilometers, with a population of 71,000 only, but it's still 10 times more than the World Championship host place, Madonna city. But both are not so big cities, thanks to also the local governments. They have invested a lot of money and also improved the skiing and biathlon center. The same relates to the Madonna and also here to the Khanty-Mansijsk. Also the 2 Olympic champions, Zavyalov, Zemyatov was speaking yesterday on an opening speeches, also the governors. And now we can see that Alena Prochaskova, when the athletes reaching the middle of the distance, this is a second lap from 3, trying to pull away, but not significantly, just slightly. But Nikolaeva biting the teeth not to let the Prochaskova win. She knows if Prochaskova goes now, then the victory for Nikolaeva will went away. But now Nikolaeva fights very good and not letting Slovak to pull away. So still together when 14.5 minutes has spent. And Shapovalova on her own, and of course difficult for Shapovalova to close the gap, which is a little bit more than 20 seconds. So 2 Russians were on a podium here. So 2 Russians were on a podium also for the junior woman, when Italian Laura Montagna, the youngest sister of Montagna family, was between 2 Russians in second place. 2 Russians were on a podium also for the junior men in the 2nd and 3rd, and 2 Russians in the senior men in a second and third as well, with Olympic champion from Torino Games, Evgeny Dementiev, finishing second behind Italian Matteo Tano. So also the junior ladies started as well. They started just 3 minutes after the ladies start, and at the moment Arina Belinko won the bronze medalist, 2 bronze medals for Arina Belinko in Madonna at the World Championships in individual distances. On the last day with Potapova, she won the gold in a team sprint, and the Latvians were also happy to see not only Bolshunov, Chervotkin, Niprayev, of course, in the first, but also Faleyeva and Kuskova, who won each the gold medal and each also won silver in individual distances in classic and free technique, but they are absent here, probably preparing for the winter season. They both were competing in the World Junior Championship, top 10, top 15 finishers, and also the silver medalist in the winter in Lahti, where the World Championship under 23 and for juniors took place. They won the silver in the relay. So, of course, their main target is a winter, but very good that they first time competed in roller skiing in such a big event, not competing early in the World Cup stages, and Belinko was a third behind them, but in absence of Faleyeva and Kuskova, Belinko playing the main role here. She won the last year here free technique in Khanty-Mansijsk and also started with a victory this year's World Cup stage in Khanty-Mansijsk. She said she was happy. She said thank you to her coach, but a little bit more about the juniors later. Now Prochaskova and Nikolaeva still at the 6.15 kilometer mark, still quite closely together. At the last mark, at 3:75 at the end of the first lap, Shapovalova lost 25 seconds. Now it could be some a little bit more, around a half minute. But no danger for Shapovalova. She could earn another third place here, because the closest rivals also were now a 34-second gap, so another 9-10 seconds added. So it looks like Prochaskova and Nikolai working hard together. And other athletes, the fourth fastest was Daria Rogozina. She lost 46 seconds. Now it will be around 1 minute, another 14 seconds. So Shapovalova's third place looks quite sure. Rogozin losing 1 minute and 1 second, and then came Lochner and Mikhailova, and not so far Bolton. We can see Italian Becky. He's a sprinter specialist, a triple world champion, 2 times individually in the senior class, once in the junior class, and we can see group of 4 athletes. This is a famous site, and also the bridge we know very good from biathlon races. Also during the time when even Sven Fischer and Rafael Poire competed. Not only Ole Einar Bjørndalen, who finished just recently. Yeah, not Khanty-Mansijsk among the organizers last season, but several seasons, some 10 seasons World Cup took place here. And we saw Latvian Kitty Auzinia, Swedish Jacqueline Lochner, Yekaterinbela Zereva from Russia, and also Olga Mikhailova, passing 6.15 kilometer mark. So very good start for Latvian Kitty Auzinia. She's born 1996 in Madonna, which hosted the World Championships, and she is very good in a classical style. She won the 3rd place, the best achievement during the junior category. It's been number 34. We can see the athlete from the senior junior class from Thailand. So actually we have 7 nations participating here in Khanty-Mansijsk, but meanwhile Nikolai Prochaskova will complete lap number 2 and will start the last decisive lap. Yes, 7 countries, of course Russia, the organizing country, then from Scandinavia we have Norway and Sweden, Italy, Slovakia, Latvia and Thailand. Of course a little bit exotic country, but some athletes from Thailand has some good results. What I mean good results for Thailand, good results during the Winter World Championships, beating some other countries which are not so exotic in cross-country skiing. And now almost 20 minutes past is a bib number 34. That's Oiluma Pengkongkone from Thailand in the junior class. And we can see Rogozina in a good speed here on the uphill, just a few meters before the end of the lap number 2. Fifth this year in the winter at the National Championship classical style distance. Of course, not all favorites competed there, but still 5th place in the National Championships in Russia means that she is quite good in classical style. Third, she was a 5th in a 15-kilometer free technique in must start, and the third bronze medalist in classical style. So, in the absence, of course, of Nipraeva and other top from the national team, but still that shows her ability and strength. Now she comes with the same approximately 1 minute and a few seconds. Now this time 3 seconds and 1 minute she's behind, so nothing changes. So importantly at the moment. And here comes Shapovalova, still working on her own. Very good in sprint races, but very, very recently turned to the roller skiing. With she's now lying in 13th place at the World Cup standings with 113 points, and yesterday's 3rd place helped her to climb from 25th to 13th. And of course, after today's race, no doubt that Shapovalova in the World Cup overall standings will be among the top 10, maybe top 8. Here comes the 4 battling from the 5th to 8th place with several countries: Latvia, Russia, Sweden. And yesterday only 4 countries won the podium places: Russia, Italy, Sweden and Slovakia. Maybe some other country could squeeze. Of course, not Thailand. But for Norway, difficulties. Later I will explain why. And of course, Latvian Kiti-Auziņa. Of course, not chances for her for the podium. The 5th, 6th place will be very good achievement for her. The highest place for her this season, that will be. But Nick Saulītis in the junior class, the Latvian, finishing 4th behind 2 Russians and Swede Johan Ekberg. So Saulītis could try to provide some podium place later. Look at Shapovalov working very hard. Losing the closest rivals. It was 30 seconds at the 7.5 kilometer mark. So it was 34. She come a little bit closer to the first 2. And look at the chasing quartet and the distance between them and Rogozina in front of your screen into the 4th place. So yesterday's race was first for the roller skiing for Daria Rogozina. So she started with 6th place, and today with the 4th place she can achieve her best achievement in roller skiing in such a level as World Cup. Rogozina has competed only in Russia, also during the winter, the national championships, the East European Cups, like that. And it looks like finally Alena Prochaskova decided to make a move, and that this moment, that could be the decisive move in the battle for the victory. Of course, in the beginning of the translation, I told that Prochaskova will be the favorite because she is stronger in the classical style than Nikolaeva. In a free technique, the chances could be even for both. In must start in free technique in Madona, in the World Championship, Prochaskova finished 2nd. Nikolaeva was just a few places behind. Of course, Prochaskova very good finisher, but in a classical style today, Prochaskova is a favorite between those 2. And now she has moved away some 15-20 meters. The distance not so big at the moment, but of course, Prochaskova cannot move away so easily because Nikolaeva is also a strong athlete from the Russian Federation. As I told you, 2 times a bronze medal winner in 10-kilometer classical style, and in skiathlon 9 years ago in Hinterzarten in Germany at the World Championships under 23 in the winter. And now the gap is at 30-40 meters, and it looks like it's clear in a battle for the victory. Nikolaev's task was to hold as long as possible, but sometimes it's not so easy on the roller skis to pull away, like during the winter. But yesterday, athletes competed with this fast roller skis, so the times were very, very fast yesterday in the prologue, in the free technique. But today, yesterday, yes, every athlete competed with their own roller skis. Today, organizers distributed the roller skis, so all athletes have equal possibilities, and those roller skis are slow roller skis, so the time's not so fast as yesterday. And of course, the classical style is a slower technique than the free technique. Shapovalova coming to her second podium place in 2 days, and the second podium place in history for her at the World Cups roller skiing. Shapovalova has been among the points in top 30 in the winter 65 times, and 10 times in the final in the sprint event during the winter. The athlete has been number 3, but now Nikolaeva, also several medal winner during the summer in the World Championships in roller skiing. But also during the winter, Nikolaeva has produced some good results. 18 times among top 30, and 4 times she's been in a semi-final. Meanwhile, Prochaskova, who just passed 9.9 kilometer mark during the winter in the sprint races at the World Cups, has been 22 times in top 10, 20 times in a sprint, 2 times in top 10 in the distance races. And 6 times Prochaskova has been on the podium in a winter sprint event. So, but that was a few years ago, not during the last 2-3 seasons. So the veteran, the also Slovakian champion, and here comes Shapovalova. She lost only 30 seconds at the last intermediate, and now when Prochaskova switched the gear, Shapovalova lost another 11 seconds. Now she's trailing 41 seconds and half minute. She's behind the teammate Nikolaeva. And here comes Rogozina battling for the 4th place, also on her own. As I told earlier, so the 4th place will be the best achievement, because yesterday's race was first time at the World Cup for Rogozina, who was competed only in Russia. Maybe after today's very good results here at the World Cup in Khanty-Mansijsk, she will switch her thoughts and maybe will travel to Italy. In the middle of September, Italy will host the last World Cup stage in roller skiing this season. We know Italy, Latvia, Madonna City, Trento in Italy, and also Oroslavia in Croatia, the famous organizing places of World Cup roller skiing. But Russia also hold the World Cup that was in 2006, 2013 in Novgorod, also in other city, and after several years, last year in 2018, Khanty-Mansijsk hosted the World Cup. So this is 4th year when Russia hosting, and 2nd year in Khanty-Mansijsk, the capital of Ugra. And here comes Alena Prochaskova. Just a few hundred meters remaining for the Slovakian to the finish, and she will earn the 2nd victory in those 2 days. She competed in the 9th World Championships during the winter, also 4 Olympic Games in the winter for Slovakian. The best result for Slovakian in sprint races was 8 years ago in Oslo, Holmenkollen, when she was in the final with a 6th place. And look at the Slovakian. Slovaks will be happy. They'll say Stratia Slovakia žiju. And And she will close the gap with Lina Somskar after yesterday's win and 100 points. Now Somskar just in front of Prochaskova with 134 points. And today Prochaskova will earn another 100 points. And after today's race, Prochaskova will trail Somskar only by 34 points. And she's very good in sprint as well. And tomorrow in a sprint event, Prochaskova will be also one of the main contenders, not only for victory and also for podium place. Here comes Nikolaeva, second day and second place once again for Svetlana Nikolaeva. Congratulations to Prochaskova and to Nikolaeva. Поздравляем и Светлану Николаеву. Второй день подряд она выиграла второе место. Ну, боролась до середины дистанции, но ничего не могла сделать с Prochaskovой. Prochaskova была фавориткой. И Шаповалова, который второй раз участвует на Кубке мира здесь. Khanty-Mansijsk участвовал первый раз в Китае месяц назад. Второй день подряд на третьем месте. So, Prochaskova, not Prochaskova, but Shapovalova, the sprint specialist during the winter, several times in the final during the winter. In sprint, also the winner of the winter sprint in cross-country skiing, now finishing into the third place. So first victory 12 years ago came for Shapovalova when she won in China World Cup. 7 years ago in Kusumo, she finished second behind Björgen. In China, she made with Mateo a double victory for Russia. And 12 years ago in Otepää, when Virpi Kuitunen won, then Shapovalova was third, and also Matveeva was behind her in fourth place. Here comes Daria Rogozina with her best place so far at the World Cup rolling skiing. 6 yesterday and today. Just behind the podium into the fourth for Daria Rogozina, but also she's satisfied, claiming up 2 places, finishing the fourth, almost 1.5 minutes behind. And Nikolaeva Shapovalova separated by 30 seconds. And there's a battle for the fifth. Here comes bib number 11, that's Latvian Khanty-Mansijsk battling. And here also the Jacqueline Lochner, the silver medalist from the World Championship this year in Madonna Streets, where she lost only to Lina Somskar. She's a very good finisher. Jacqueline Lochner can earn a very good result here in the classical start distance, but bib number 11, that's Latvian Khanty-Mansijsk. It looks like Lochner, the silver medalist from sprint event, goes into the fifth, and very good achievement for the Latvian Khanty-Mansijsk. Sveicam Khanty-Mansijsk lielisku panākumu un sesto vietu. Olga Mikhailova claiming 1 place up and 7th, and Yekaterina Belozerova from 10th to 8th place, losing 2 minutes and 12 seconds. You can see Martin Schniklas, the chief of the roller skiing commission in the FIS, also technical delegate here. Congratulations from him to the Auzinia, who comes from the Madonna. And here battle for the 9th and 10th place between Ksenia Konokhova, the veteran, and also bib number 18, Victoria Lukashova. Yeah, Ksenia Konokhova, the veteran, the Russian, who has been more than 30 times on the podium in World Cup races and also World Championships in roller skiing, has several victories, 5 victories. But now, that was many years ago, but recently not so good achievements, not so high achievements as early for Ksenia Konokhova. Klepikov finishing 12th, Ignatieva 11th. Ignatieva starting 16th, she was 16th yesterday, but the top 3 the same as yesterday, with Prochaskova winning again, Nikolaeva once again second, and Shapovalova second day in a row completing the podium in the top 3. And only here comes the twin sister Lisa Bolton, the medalist from the World Championship team sprint event, the silver medalist 1.5 weeks ago with Lucia Scordoni. Together she won that silver medal. And tomorrow Lisa Bolton and her sister, the bronze medalist in sprint event in Madonna, Anna Bolton, will be favorites for the podium places. But also Russians could be very strong, and of course today's and yesterday's winner Prochaskova from Slovakia. Lisa Bolton, who finished 5th yesterday, today losing 3 minutes 42 and finishing just in 13th place. Posto numero 13 dall'Italia, Lisa Bolton. And here comes her sister Anna Bolton, bib number 12, and here we can see bib number 22. That's from the junior class. The junior class, where favorite, of course, is Arina Belinko. Bib number 22 is Laura Mortagna, yesterday's second place winner. She started only 9 seconds behind Belinko. Belinko, the 2 times bronze medalist in the distance and a gold medalist in the team sprint in Madonna, the World Championships, is a favorite, despite that she started only in 9 seconds in front of Laura Martani, but maybe other Russian girls could be very, very strong. There's Varvara Prokhorova finished here, but now we can try to switch to the junior class. Yes, the junior started in 3 minutes later than the senior woman, and therefore it's not so easy to follow, because now the last stage for the junior as well, the same length of the distance as for the seniors, 11.25, the same 3 laps. And now beam number 7, that's Olga Leticheva, this world champion in the sprint and roller skiing. Yesterday's a 7th, and now today finishing outside the top 10. Into the 17th, Yekaterina Kuznetsova. We had Svetlana Kuznetsova, not the famous tennis player who has won twice the Grand Slam, but Svetlana Kuznetsova, the cross-country skier, competing in Madonna. But here another Kuznetsova, Yekaterina, finishing in 18th place. And we can see with a red bib, that's Arina Belinko. Arina Belinko finishing in the first place in the junior class for the women, in front of Polina Bolshakova. Arina Belinko, she won yesterday the prologue in free technique and a second victory. Of course, no doubt that she was a favorite here today, despite Laura Martani was in second place. Laura Martani, born in 2003. She's 3 years younger than the older sister and the world champion in sprint, Alba Martani, but now in the distance, Laura Martani showing the best results. Now other athletes coming here. Meanwhile, Polina Bolshakova finishing in the second, and Elizaveta Daibova into the third place. And here comes with number 24 and 29. That's Maria Popova, 24, and Urbo Julia in with number 29 in the battle for the 6th and 5th and 6th place. The best Italian, Elisa Sardello today. Elisa Sardello finishing yesterday into the 5th place. She was second best Italian, because Laura Martani was on the podium with the second place. And Arina Belinko wins second day in a row. Meanwhile, for Polina Bolshakova, who finished yesterday into the second podium place for her, coming last year. Polina Bolshakova competed in Khanty-Mansijsk only on the first day, where she finished 4th, and this year with the 3rd place yesterday and 2nd place today, Polina Bolshakova earns their first 2 podium places at the World Cups for the juniors in roller skiing. She competed in a FIS race only 2 years ago during the winter, and she's 31st last year with that 4th only start, 4th place here in Khanty-Mansijsk. She finished 31st. But for the senior woman, we had 14 Russians, 2 Italians, 1 Slovakian, 1 Latvian, 1 Swede, and 1 from Thailand. There are 20 athletes and 6 countries. Look at the standings at the finish. Praskova wins, Nikolai once again 2nd, Shapovalova 3rd, then Ragozin in the 4th, Lochner 5th, outsprinting Latvian Kitija Auziņa to the 6th, Olga Mikhailova 7th, Zereva 8th, Lukashova 9th, and Konokhova 10th. So we can see 7 Russians in the top 10. And just behind top 10, another 2 Russians, Ignatiev 11th, Klepikova 12th, Lisa Boltson just half minute in front of Anna Boltson. Yesterday they both were separated by 25 seconds, so both twin sisters had the same race today. Now we can see the interview with Alena Prochaskova, the 2nd day's winner. Now the young supporters here at the stands at the Khanty-Mansijsk, the Filipenko Winter Sports Center. Athletes expressed very good words about this skiing biathlon center here. Very good conditions. Now you can see smiling Prochaskova. She has a reason to smile. Yeah, meanwhile, Belinko wins a 3rd victory in her career. 1 came last year here in Khanty-Mansijsk, and 2 victories in those 2 days for Belinko. Totally 3 victories. in the junior class for the Russian. Polina Bolshakova wins her second podium place, this time the highest, second, and Elzeta Daibova, first time on a podium, 17 years of age, finishing only 41st this year in the winter in a classical style distance, 53rd. She was in a sprint during the winter, and yesterday she finished 7th, and today claimed up 4 places, and first time she earned the right to step on the podium in her career. Now we are getting ready for the junior men. Junior men should continue next. Junior women started yesterday, but today the senior woman was first out on the course. The lap is 3.75 kilometers. The first kilometer is mainly uphill with some height difference of 30 meters. Then the middle part is with a very few small downhills and uphills, very small, and the last kilometer is mostly down, and then the last small uphill before the stadium area. That's a lap, 3.75 kilometers. And actually today's race in a classical style is the first classical style distance this year at the World Cup races. Of course, in Latvia, in Madona, the first day of the World Championships was a classical style distance, but the first World Cup stage in the beginning of July month, which was held in China. There were only 3 technique, 2 sprints, the shorter 200 meters and the longer 1.5 kilometers, and the distance with must start all were in a free technique. So yesterday was free technique prologue, and today first time in classical style. And also what is interesting, that first time here in Khanty-Mansijsk athletes competed in classical style, because last year were 3 competition days and all 3, 2 in the distances, 1 in a sprint, were in a free technique. Now athlete from Thailand feels more comfortable than some athletes during the World Championships in the winter. Remember in Lahti in 2017, one from South America felt at least some 15 times during his classical style race. Now, next will be the junior men. There's a leader, Johan Ekberg from Sweden. But for the junior women, they're 39 in our overall standings. And the leader, Arina Bilinko. She overtook with yesterday's victory Anastasia Feleeva, the world champion in a classical style distance in Madona on the 8th of August. But now, little summary of the women's 11.25 classical style pursuit race. We're gonna see Evgenia Shapovalova, bib number 3, and a second, third place for her, Evgenia Shapovalova. And the first 2, Nikolaeva and Prohaska on the screen. They work together like more than 2/3 of the distance, and Slovakian started to pull away. They had also very interesting races. Nikolaeva opened with the fastest times, very closely followed by Prohaskova. And today, and then yesterday, Prohaskova was faster on the last part of the race and took the victory, just 2 seconds in front of Nikolaeva. And today, Nikolaeva very fast reduced that 2-second gap, and they worked together. But Slovakian appeared stronger. And now we can see that moment when Slovakian try to switch the gear and starting to pull away. Not that time, that was first time she tried, and on a second attempt she managed to pull away from a Russian and to win the second day in a row. You can see Slovakian flag being waved in honor for Alena Prohaskova. 6 times on a podium in the winter in a sprint event, 1 victory for her, which came 9 years ago in January in Canada. 13 times in the final she has been in the winter. number 17. Ekaterina Kuznetsova, who finished 18th today. Number 7, Olga Letocheva, the sprint specialist. Despite her 17th place, she is quite satisfied. Now we can see officials. Also the member of the Russian coaching team on the right side. Approximately some 15 minutes remaining for the junior men. They will have 15-kilometer distance. They will complete 4 laps. The same will do the senior men, which will start 4:50 the local time. As we can see, some rain. Yesterday was excellent weather, sunny and dry. Today also, in the beginning, was quite good. Also, the air temperature 22 degrees. But this is what the athletes don't want to see. That's the rain. And the rain was also during the World Championships in Madon in a Smetzer-Sils track on the first day when athletes competed in a classical style distance. Especially the men, they competed in the rain, and Alexander Bolshinov won. Chervokin said the second time, but was disqualified for the breach of the classical style. And meanwhile, his teammate Ilya Paroshkin could earn the silver, and Viktor Gustafsson, the Swede, who we'll see today, won the bronze medal. Meanwhile, for the women, Natalia Praeva at the World Championships won the gold at the classical style distance. Lucia Scardoni was second, and Lindskog was a third. And as I mentioned earlier, Alyona Prochaskova finished into the fourth. But she lost some 25 seconds to the podium. You can see smiling Alyona Prochaskova. Also smiling Elizaveta Daibova next to her, who earned the third place today. This will be number 27. For women, 19 athletes competed from 6 countries: Russia, Italy, Slovakia, Latvia, Sweden and Thailand. Russia with majority, of course, with 14 athletes. With 13, because yesterday started 14, but Alyona Perevoshchikova did not finish, so today we had 13. If you did not compete yesterday, you cannot compete today in a pursuit race, of course. But for the junior women, we had 14 athletes yesterday and 14 today. And 2 times less countries represented than in the senior ladies category. For the junior women, only 3 competed today. Countries, Russia, Italy and Thailand. And Russia with a 9, Italy with a 3 and Thailand with a 2. So, but the whole podium belongs to the Russian junior women. That's the same scenario as we saw in Madonna, in a classical style interval start distance. The same we noticed also in the free technique in mass start distance at the World Championships when Kuskova and Faleva changed the first 2 places, and Belinko on both occasions for third. In a sprint, the Norwegian Julie Arnesen, who showed the strengths and finished second in China in a senior group. She, just behind the Samskar, Julie Arnesen showed her strengths and won convincingly the sprint, finishing ahead of 2 Russian girls. Agafonova was second there. And Isaichenko, who we see also yesterday with 12th place, won the bronze medal. And now, yesterday, Russia was on a podium with 2 athletes in each group. But today, in the junior class, comes first time when Russia takes the whole podium. Congratulations! Да, вчера российские участники были на подиуме. В каждой группе 2 участника из России попали в тройки. А сейчас у юниорских девочек весь подиум принадлежит только российским девочкам. Так что можем поздравить российскую сборную. Уже 5 призовых мест. So the Russian has won today from the two groups already 5 podium places.
Очки можно. Заберите.
And only non-Russian podium place is on the left of your screen, Alena Prochaskova from Slovakia, the winner for the senior woman 11.25 kilometer distance pursuit in classical style. So athletes are preparing for the flower ceremony, which will follow very soon. And after the flower ceremony, very soon, in 10 minutes time, the second day here in Khanty-Mansijsk will continue with the junior men 15-kilometer race. So organizers getting ready to present the flowers for the top 3 for the junior women, for Alina Belinko, Polina Bolshakova and Elizaveta Daibova. As we can hear in Russian that they are saying we have a time to start the flower ceremony. And for the senior woman, Prochaskova, Slovakian, and the Russians Nikolaeva and Shapovalova. Now the flower ceremony. Let's see whether they will start with the junior woman or will start with the senior woman who started the first race.
Ladies and junior ladies, third group, junior ladies pursuit classic. За третье место.
Now we will start with the junior woman.
Представительница сборной команды России Khanty-Mansijskого автономного округа Елизавета Daibova.
Yeah, first podium place for the Russian Elizaveta Daibova, 7th yesterday and 3rd today. Первый раз на подиуме на Кубке мира. Елизавета Daibova. Поздравляем Елизавету. Meanwhile, second time on the podium. Yesterday's a 3rd place winner. And first time in a 2nd place, that's Polina Bolshakova. Last year she was 4th in her only start here in Khanty-Mansijsk. So Bolshakova has very good tendency. 4th last year, 3rd yesterday and 2nd today. But it doesn't mean, of course, would be lovely if she wins 1st place tomorrow in the sprint, but who knows? Belinko maybe will abstain from the sprint tomorrow. She did not compete in a sprint in Madonna a half week ago. And now, in the honor of the winner, the Russian Federation anthem. And now applauses, of course, for the best 3 junior women. A little bit tired, of course. Belinko could be once again thankful to her coach. Andrei Petrochkov. And maybe that was the last time we saw Arina Belinko here. But she could be very good also on Sunday. She won must start bronze medal at the World Championships in Manila. So on a Sunday, on the last day here in Khanty-Mansijsk, she could be also one of the contenders for the podium and also victory. But now the senior woman pursued in classical style the third place winner, Yevgenia Shapovalova. 3 times on the podium during the winter and sprint events. And Svetlana Nikolaeva, second day in a row into the second place. She has been in a semi-final at the winter cross-country skiing sprint events and 2 times in top 10. And 19th time on the podium and 11th victory for Slovakian Alona Prahaskova. And now from 426 to 526 points. And she's coming closer and closer to the World Cup standings leader Lynn Sömskar. And now national anthem of Slovakia, Nata Trojsa bliskih Romi divu biju. Of course, congratulations also to the top 3 for the senior ladies. And of course, Nikolaeva, yesterday's second place brought her from 11th to 6th in overall standings with 199 points. After today's second place, she now has 279 points, and that will bring into the third place, despite Jacqueline Lochner winning 5th. She earned 45 points. And she will have a 273 and will miss it to Nikolaeva 5 points. Shapovalova with 113 early. Today's another 16 points added, 173, and that will helping her to squeeze among top 10. Before Khanty-Mansijsk stage, she was in 25th place. After yesterday's third place, she managed to go up to the 13th place. And today, after today's race, she will be among top 3. That's for sure. Meanwhile, Arina Belinko, who overtook yesterday the World Cup leader status for the junior woman, increased her lead. She had 220 points. Now she has 320 points in her pocket. And now Laura Mortagna, she finished only 7th, earned 36 points. So she will have 884 and will stay in that top 5. Meanwhile, Boshakova yesterday earned her first World Cup overall points this season, 60, and today she added 80, 140. And from 17th place, she could squeeze among top, not 10, only top 8, that's sure. And also good collection of points for Elizaveta Daibova. Yesterday she earned 36 points with 7th place, and today another 60 points added, so 96 points. And from 39, a junior woman, she will be among top 15. Before today's race, Daibova were lying in 23rd place. Meanwhile, we are getting ready for the junior. Here we can see the start list according to yesterday's results. Johan Ekberg from Sweden won, then in front of 2 Russians, Anton Savosin and Daniil Zverev. Apologizes, that's the second, 11th and 12th places. He won in front of Vladislav Kuterev and Leonid Markov, and Latvian hope Nick Saulitis finished 4th. So very soon we will switch to the junior man and we'll try. So junior man will start alone the senior men will start only when the junior men will finish, so we can follow just a junior men race, not like junior women and senior women were separated just by 3 minutes, and most attention was, of course, to the senior women. And now the Johan Ekberg, yesterday's winner from Sweden, an overall cup leader for juniors, started first. He carried almost half a minute advantage, 28.5 seconds. Johan Ekberg was satisfied with this Khanty-Mansijsk Filipenko Sports Winter Center. He said very good track. He admitted that he in Sweden, in his hometown, doesn't have not close to this Khanty-Mansijsk track, but was not satisfied with his race despite victory over 30 seconds almost. He said it was very difficult, but he's quite confident about the victory today. And Kuturev and Markov, the second and third place winner from Russia, they both competed first time in the roller skiing competitions at such level like World Cup, and on the first occasion were on the podium already. And Johan Ekberg on the screen you can see is a current world junior champion in this classical style distance. He won on the 8th of August in Madonna Smetsersil's track in front of Alexander Grigoriev, the World Cup leader before the Khanty-Mansijsk. He won 2 gold medals and 2 silvers, and they were leading the World Cup standings before Khanty-Mansijsk stage. Juniors competed together in China with seniors, so only from Madonna started a separate World Cup standings for the juniors. So the 3 individual races were in Madonna, and now the 5th race separate for the junior this year. Bib number 44, that's Latvian Niks Saulītis, the best Latvian youth, not the junior, under 18 group, the youth cross-country skier. And he won the first historical medal for Latvia on the 9th of August, when he was the 3rd fastest in a sprint event behind 2 Russians, Grigoriev and Karakosov. Karakosov won, Grigoriev was a 2nd. But now we can follow Johan Ekberg, and Ekberg was best in a classical style distance on the first day in Madonna, and of course he's a favorite to hold this gap today. He won more than a minute in front of Grigoriev at the World Championships, and the Norwegian Ola Spikset was 3rd. And of course, Kuturev and Markov did not compete there. The first World Cup race and such level competition was yesterday. Here you can see Kuturev, Markov separated by 5 seconds yesterday. They will be contenders for the 2nd place, like Niks Saulītis, who will try to squeeze among the 2 Russians to reduce the gap, but a difficult task. Russians very strong. 11 seconds Kuturev Saulītis, maybe that's the task for Russians. Kuturev Markov, for Markov to catch as early as possible Kuturev, what he has done already, and work together not only to close the gap to the leader Swede Ekberg, but also to pull away from the Saulītis, from the Latvian best youth cross-country skier, who comes also from Madonna, like Kiti Auziņa, who won the 6th place early today. And then to decide the 2nd and the 3rd place only between them 2. Of course, they think maybe they can work very hard and try to come closer, but we will see. The first intermediate is at 2.4 kilometers, and we can follow the Johan Ekberg. Ekberg won 3 medals at the World Championships in Madonna, finishing also 2nd in pursuit, not pursuit, but must start races, losing only to Alexander Grigoriev. And also winning 2nd place in a team sprint. Johan Ekberg, Russian supporters could watch also last year in Khanty-Mansijsk. Then Johan Ekberg was 2 times 4th in a sprint and first day. And on the last day he finished 9th in a must-start free technique distance. But classical style is the best which suits for the Swede, and he of course is a favorite for the 2nd victory. With yesterday's win, he overtook the World Cup standings, and now he has 309 points. And today he's hoping to add to another 100 points and exceed the 400 point And meanwhile, also Kuterev with 80 points first this year, and Markov 60 points also first this year. And in career as well, are just outside top 10 in overall standings, and can be not among top 10 only, but among top 8 or maybe top 6. Of course, a little bit difficult for Egbert to work on his own, but he is confident. He's confident, quite sure about his chances to hold that lead. So we had yesterday 24 athletes on the start list, but only 22 competed in prologue in free technique, 11.25 kilometers. And 5 nations were represented: Russia, Latvia, Sweden, Italy and Thailand. And now we can see Kuterev and Markov working together. In front Markov, Kuterev following behind him. And very soon, when almost 6 minutes will be passed, very soon they will approach the first intermediate, 2.4 kilometers, just 150 meters remaining for Johan Egbert. Now he will appear very soon, crossing this famous bridge from Khanty-Mansijsk, which now will be famous not only with biathlon, but in second year in a row, the World Cup in roller skiing. So very good organizing team, and very well organized here in Khanty-Mansijsk in Ugra at Filipenko's Winter Sports Center. Also Madonna also has very good organizing team, and were praised by Federation of International Ski. Egbert 6 minutes 15 at 2.4 kilometers. Remember, Russians were 28-33 seconds behind, and now they are already 15 seconds past, so approximately the same 30-35 between that will separate the leader from Sweden, Egbert, and the chasing group of 2 Russians, Vladislav Kuterev and Leonid Markov. And then we'll see how much time losing Nick Saulitis. Of course, on his own it's difficult, but tomorrow Nick Saulitis will try to show his strengths in a sprint. Yes, not 30-35, but 38 seconds. So Johan Egbert has added to his lead a few seconds to Markov. It's only 5, but to Kuterev it's added 10 seconds. Very well done from Saulitis. He has waited for Matvey Prokofiev. It looks like, yeah, Matvey Prokofiev with bib number 45. They both were separated by 10 seconds, and now they work together. Saulitis can rest a little bit behind the Matvey back, and both losing just a minute and 2 seconds, but not far from them. 13 seconds behind. The 4th and 5th place is Alexander Kirillov from Russia. Kirillov finishing 6th yesterday, and that was his first start in the World Cups in roller skiing, and of course in a career as well, because in the winter it's not possible for such an athlete as Kirillov to compete in the Russian team in the cross-country skiing during the winter. But who knows, maybe in 3, 4, 5 years time that will be possible for Kirillov if he improves, because Russian team, one of the strongest, competing with the Norwegian team in the nations during the standings during the winter. But if I started with the nations, I can tell that Russia leads overwhelmingly, more than 1,000 points in front of the second best nation, that's Sweden. Russia had, after yesterday's race, 3,941 points and 1,100 points in front of Sweden, who has earned 2,850. Third is Norway, and very close into the 4th, Italy. And of course, after Khanty-Mansijsk, Italy will overtake Norway, and Italy will move up to the 3rd. Norway has only Ragnar Andersen, the 3 times world team sprint champion and 2 times individual sprint champion in roller skiing, who competed yesterday and finished into 23rd place. But we will see whether he will compete today. There is a doubt that we will see Ragnar on the start list. So for the junior men, we are having 15-kilometer race today. And now Johan Egbert approaching to the end of the first lap with 9 minutes 4 seconds. Remember, on the previous intermediate at the 2.4 kilometer mark, it was 38 seconds separating the Swede and 2 Russians. And remember, for the junior man, 4 laps should be completed. For the junior woman and senior woman, 3 laps. That's usually the junior and senior woman has a little bit shorter distance. Yeah, it will be the same. Another 3 seconds added. Yes, another 3 seconds added. Now 40, 41 second. Both Russians behind Egber. They understand very good that, but it's almost impossible to catch Egber from Sweden. And the main task for Markov and Kuterev is not to let other chasers to approach them. And between them two, Markov and Kuterev, to decide the second and third place. Look like a Russian, Matvey Prokopiev, has pulled away a little bit, some 20 meters, separating him and Latvian Niks Saulītis. Saulītis nedaudz sāk piekust atpalikt, bet nekas. Rītdien sprintā pasaules čempionāta bronzas medaļas ieguvējiem jāparāda savu spēks. Yes, and now very soon Kirillov will catch Saulītis. And both Russians, Kuterev and Markov, working together. It's nice to see this old, historic, classical style skiing. And also FIS has adopted the new rules in classical style to shorten the length of the poles. Otherwise, many athletes use the no-wax skis or skating skis and just works with the arms. And then this old classical style step has some chances to be thrown away, and that's not good for the classical style. And also here, Johan Egber. Very soon he will be approaching the middle of the second lap, carrying 40 seconds advantage. Here bib number 47, Pavel Stegny, finishing 7th yesterday. After the first lap, he lost 1.5 minutes to the leaders, and 14 seconds he was behind the 6th place Kirillov. So yesterday, Egber from Sweden, Saulītis from Latvia, and 10th place Ilvas Bisnieks from Latvia was only 3 non-Russians. Other 7 were Russian athletes in top 10. Then Italian Gianmarco Gatti was in the 15th place. And from Thailand, Saravut Koetsin was the last 22nd. He lost 14.5 minutes. And this is the longest gap from all groups which were noticed yesterday. Remember, for the women senior, only 2 seconds separated the first two, Prochaskova, Nikolaeva. For the junior woman, 9 seconds separated the winner from yesterday, Bilinko and Mortagna from Italy. And for the senior men, Matteo Tunnel won only 13 not only, but 13 seconds in front of Dementiev. Dementiev admitted himself that 13 seconds is not so short gap, but Dementiev could be the main favorite for the victory today for the senior men, which will start later in 48 minutes time. And here, 28 seconds separated Egber and Kuterev, so the longest gap from all groups. Impressively the longest gap, but it's not the minute, and it's very good that it's not the minute, that not such a big difference in level of athletes in one group. And for the spectators, it's interesting to see some battle for the podium places. We saw until the 8.5 kilometer mark for the women. It's Prochaskova Nikolai battling for the victory. Belinko we didn't see, but she won easily with almost half-minute advantage. But I don't know what happened with Arina Belinko, whether she felt or something, but she, after the first lap, she carried only 10 seconds advantage to Bolshakova. And at the end of the second lap, it's only 4 seconds separated Belinko and Bolshakov. But then Belinko pulled away and at the end won by 27 seconds gap. So athletes should be careful on those corners. Remember, Alexei Chervotkin, the silver medalist from the Pyeongchang Olympic Games in the relay, finished the second, half-minute behind Bolshanov at the World Championships roller ski in Madonna, but was disqualified. But of course, he was a little bit angry, but at the end he recognized, and as a team leader, Evgeny Dementiev said that was his own fault from Chervotkin. Yes, Latvian cross-country skiing friends who could see several world championship medalists and also Olympic medalists like Bolshanov, Chervotkin, Dementiev, and almost medalist Natalia Nepraeva, who won 4th place in a sprint event just behind the podium, but in Olympic Games, of course, but in a World Championship in Seefeld, she finished 2 times into the 3rd place, winning 2 bronze medals. But Bolshanov has won the gold 2 years ago at the World Roller Skiing Championship and won the gold also in Madona, so 2 gold medals he has, but during the Winter Championships in Seefeld he won 4 silver medals in all 4 podium occasions, and in the winter he also won 4 medals, 1 bronze and 3 silvers, so no gold yet for Bolshanov during the winter, but maybe that will follow. Not next season, there's no World Championships, maybe in 2021. It looks like both Russians are starting to separate, and Leonid Markov, who yesterday was fast on the first part of the race, because Kuterev overtook him on the latest stage. Now Markov, Leonid with bib number 43, starting to pull away. After the first lap, he lost 40 seconds, now 49. Of course, both going slower than Ekber, but now Kuterev almost a minute behind, 46.5 seconds. And both Russians now separate by 7, but it looks like a bib number 45, that's Matvey Prokopiev, who last year, contrary to Kuterev and Markov, participated here in Khanty-Mansijsk last year with best result on the last day with 5th place. Prokopiev finished last year's World Cup here in Khanty-Mansijsk in a distance free technique must start, and that's a minute 22 behind. After the first lap, Prokopiev lost to 1:06. Now another 16 seconds. He's losing more to the leader Ekber, and 26 behind Kuterev. 26 at the moment, quite a big gap, and then Kirillov has not only catched Saulitis, but also pulled away Saulitis, yesterday's 4th place winner from Madona City, lying in a 6th place, but very good is Pavel Stegny. Last year he was best 10th place on the first day here in Khanty-Mansijsk at the World Cup stage. Now very soon we'll catch Saulitis, and Saulitis will drop out of top 6, but tomorrow Saulitis will be one of the contenders for the medals. The same will do Johan Ekberg, who will soon complete the 2nd lap and half distance as the current leader, and with a red bib, that means that the World Cup leader. As I told earlier, that Alexander Grigoriev was the leader before the Khanty-Mansijsk stage, but I cannot tell I can't tell, because I don't know the reason why Alexander Grigoriev is not competing here, because last year he competed and won all the 3 distances. Grigoriev last year here in Khanty-Mansijsk, and he won 2 golds to silver in Madona 1.5 weeks ago, and could extend his lead, or at least had a very exciting race with Johan Ekberg here. But he's absent. The same, we cannot see that Dmitry Karakosov, the current world junior roller ski sprint champion, who was also in the top 3 at the World Cup overall standings for the juniors. Don't see, unfortunately, Dmitry Karakosov here. And let's hear the support, that the famous Russian support, Davai Davai, Vperiod, we can hear here in Khanty-Mansijsk for bib number 43, that's Leonid Markov. It was 49 seconds, and now will be more than 50. Or a little bit less even, yeah, 48 seconds at the 7.5 kilometer mark. The half distance completed for the first 2, and now very soon will come Vladislav Kuterev in the 3rd place, but let's see whether Matvey Prokopiev will try to approach Kuterev in a battle for the third place. Kuterev losing now 12 seconds to Markov. It was 7, now another 5 seconds Markov has added in the gap between him and Kuterev, and it was more than 20 seconds separating Kuterev and Prokofiev, some 26 seconds, the same 26 seconds separating Kuterev and Prokofiev, also at 7.5 kilometers. So no good sign for Matvey. Of course, he is having good race, no doubt about that, but no sign that he could be involved in a battle for the third place. Maybe this third lap could be crucial if Kuterev starting to tie a little bit, then and Prokofiev could approach him and has some chances. Then Kirillov 13 seconds in front of Saulitis into the 5th and 6th accordingly, and Pavel Stegny very close into the 7th place. Stegny losing to Saulitis only 4 seconds, so in the next half kilometer, Stegny and Saulitis will be together in the 6th and 7th place, but Kirillov losing 11 seconds to Prokofiev in a battle for the 4th and 5th. Meanwhile, we can watch the Swede, the World Cup standings leader, and yesterday's winner and today's leader, Johan Ekberg. So the main hope for the Sweden, and because of him and Linn Sömskar, Sweden was a second best nation at the World Championships at the medal table. Now the standings, and we can see yesterday was 2 Latvians and 1 Swede and 7 Russians in top 10. Now Johan Ekberg, the same Swede, and only 1 Latvian, Nick Saulits, in top 10, and that means the rest 8 places belongs to the local Russian cross-country skiers. So only 10 has finished. Now 11's the half distance. Rezov in 8th, Savos in 9th, Volgin in the 10th, Zverev in 11th, and yes, 3 together. Rezov, Savos and Volgin, 3 together in a battle for the 8th, 9th and 10th. The second best Latvian, Ilvars Bisinieks, dropped from the 10th to 12th place, but both will be contenders for the high place tomorrow. Ilvars Bisinieks is second best junior behind Raimo Wiegans, who surprisingly won the bronze in the must-start distance at the World Championship, beating such big stars like Bolshunov, Dementiev, Chervotkin, and others. Then Viktor Gustafsson won that race with Matteo Tanel finishing second, and Matteo Tanel from Italy won yesterday's prologue here in Khanty-Mansijsk. Look at the Johan Ekberg. I hope he feels much better than yesterday and will be satisfied with today's race. Yes, yesterday he won with a almost 30 second gap in front of 2 Russians, but admitted that he didn't feel so good. Here comes 47 Stegny and Saulitis into the 6th and 7th place. Maybe now Latvian will try to hold the back of one of the Russians. It was not possible to hold Kirillov back, not the Prokofiev back. Yes, Saulitis was battling also for the good place at the must-start distance at the World Championships in free technique, but at the early stage broke the pole, and during the 3rd lap dropped back. Ilvars Bisinieks finished it in the main group, but close to the top 10 into the 11th place. Then Grigoriev won in front of Ekberg and Karakosov at the free technique must-start distance. And of course the last stage remaining there in Italy, but if Grigoriev will not compete at any race here, so Ekberg can increase his lead significantly, because Ekberg can be at least top 5 also tomorrow in a sprint, because in a World Championship he finished only 9th, but tomorrow in a sprint could be top 5 for Johan Ekberg. And on the last day in the free technique must-start, he will be one of main contenders for the victory as well. So good points he can earn and extend his lead comparing to Grigoriev. And even if Grigoriev beats Ekberg in all the races in the Trento in Italy, there, and Ekberg finishing 2nd and 3rd, that will not be enough for Grigoriev to overtake the lead. Here we can see 57, 59, 53. That's Soldatkin, Mulin, Makovetsky battling for the top 15th place at the moment, lying in 13th, 14th, 15th place after the first part of those 15-kilometer race today for the junior men. Remember, in some 35 minutes time we'll start the senior men, and the junior men will have finished. So yesterday in the junior men category, Russia competed with 17 athletes. Latvia with 2, and Sweden, Italy and Thailand with 1 athlete each. Now 9.9 kilometer mark for the leader in 4 minutes and 43 some seconds. 44 seconds for Johan Egberg. Yesterday, Egberg 11.25, in free technique 20.27. But remember, that was in free technique and with the fast roller skis. Today is a slow roller skis. And the spectators not so much, but we are having few ski friends from Khanty-Mansijsk, also some parents maybe, or team members from those 7 nations competing here in Khanty-Mansijsk at the stadium. Some here on along the course, and here comes Leonid Markov. Second race for him at the World Cups, and a second podium place will come for him. Actually, today is only 4th race for him at the FIS level competition. 2 FIS races he had last year in November in the season, winter season in Siftikar. Bib number 42 of Vladislav Kuturev. He competed in the National Junior Championship during the winter, finishing 34th in 10-kilometer classical style distance. And he lost on the previous intermediate of the second lap to the leaders a little bit more than a minute, 1 minute, and now it's a minute and 32. And also Markov from 48 is 1 minute and 1, so very well. Prokofiev, yes, as I mentioned, after the second lap, maybe during the third lap we will see the decisive moments in the battle for the third place. And look at this, it's happening. Kuturev had 26 seconds advantage, now only 5 seconds he's in front of Prokofiev. Yes, Prokofiev has very good start on this third lap, and now he's hot for the podium place. First podium place for him at the World Cup in roller skiing. Now we can watch very good speed, still plenty of energy and power. Johan Egberg, the World Cup leader, and yesterday's winner. He will complete 11.25 kilometers the third lap, and very soon he will start the last lap here on the second day in Khanty-Mansijsk at the World Cup. No doubt about his victory. He carries more than minute advantage to the closest rival, that's Leonid Markov, but it's interesting battle now happening between Kuturev and Prokofiev for the third place. So 1 minute and a half, and then will appear Kuturev and Prokofiev. But very soon, in 1 minute, we will see Markov. Now the last lap started for Johan Egberg, overwhelmingly in the lead. Overtaking the athlete, as you can guess quite easily, from Thailand, that's Saravut Koetsin, who is losing more than 22 minutes to the leaders. And of course the local Russian supporting Leonid Markov, who is currently in the 11th place at the World Cup standings, but after today's race he will take top 8 or maybe top 6. Top 6 for him will be as well. And let's see, he lost on last intermediate minute and 1 second, and now it will be very similar, or maybe 1 second more. 1 minute and 2 seconds. There's the same gap separating, but we can see that Prokofiev has overtaken Markov in a battle for the third place. But it looks like that yesterday's third place winner Leonid Markov struggles to hold that speed of Prokofiev. Prokofiev last year was 11th, 14th and 5th in all 3 races, so only once in top 10 with the 5th place best so far. And yesterday's 5th place in a prologue was a repeat of last year's best result. And today Matvey Prokofiev is looking forward when the last lap begins for his first podium place. Some 10-12 meters he's in front of yesterday's second fastest man, Vladislav Kuturev, and it looks like the Kuturev's second chance for the podium place is starting to disappear. But the Russians is famous for the fight until the end. So Kuturev will try to not let so easily Prokofiev to went away. And we can see Markov on his own in a stable second position. Of course, Swede Ekberg in front of him, 1 minute and 2 seconds. And the others, the rivals, losing it to him. More than half minute, 35 and 37. I mean, Prokofiev and Kuturev losing to Markov. Then Kirillov into the fifth, losing minutes 57. And then Stegny has overtaken Saulitz, but still together Stegny and Saulitz for the 6th and 7th place, losing 2 minutes and 8 seconds and 11 behind Kirillov. So that's the standings there. And still not anymore together. Volgin, Rezov and Savosin, they were first half of distance together, but now during the third lap they were separated. Volgin going away and has 1 second advantage to Rezov, and Rezov is 11 seconds in front of Savosin. But after the third lap, still together, Rezov and Volgin together for the 8th and 9th, and Savosin losing 15 seconds to them. Now we can see the strength of Leonid Markov, who will earn the second podium place for him in his career at the World Cup roller skiing for juniors. Look at the standings. Ekberg leads, then Markov a minute 2 behind, and then another half minute Prokofiev and Kuturev. And now first third of the last lap completed, and very soon will approach the middle of the last 3.75 kilometer lap. The competition race leader Johan Ekberg from Sweden. Johan Ekberg has been 8 times on a podium with the 2 victories. The first victory was last year in Italy, and also that was a classical style pursuit race. That was 20 kilometers, 5 kilometers more than today's race. And yesterday's win in prologue, 11.25 kilometers, was second victory, and today could come the third victory and 9th podium place for Johan Ekberg. Meanwhile, for the Russians, that will be the second podium place, because Kuturev, Markov, Prokofiev has never been on a podium, but Kuturev, Markov's yesterday's second and third place was first in their career. Also, very good track. Very suits good for the winter cross-country skiing, but the organizers has prepared very good surface here for the World Cup, doing their best. Also Madonna did their best, also China did their best, also with prize money that also helped to invite some very high-level cross-country skiers, like the last 2 seasons winner of World Cup overall standings for the men cross-country skiing during the winter, and a triple Olympic champion Johannes Hesflot Klebo. He competed in China and won 2 times, finished not among the top 6 in a must-start distance, but won the sprint, the longer sprint and the shorter sprint. Yes, for the roller skiing, the 200-meter sprint is more famous. Now bib number 52 is Anton Savosin, who is into the 10th place on his own. He went early together with Rezov and Volgin in a battle for the 8th, 9th and 10th. Now he has been left on his own in a 10th position. But we can see now with bib number 43, that's second fastest man today, Leonid Markov. He started the race 33 seconds now behind the Swede Johan Ekberg, who we can see on the screen now, who will pass the last time this intermediate 13.65, 34 minutes 4 seconds. Remember, After the third lap, he carried 1 minute and 2 seconds advantage to Leonid Markov. But it doesn't matter if that more than minute or a little bit less than minute. We can see that Johan Ekberg is still going very fast. And no any signs of tiredness. And he's going towards to his second victory. Now 45, Matvey Prokopiev will earn his first podium place. He was overtaking Kuterev at the end of the third lap and had 2 seconds advantage to Kuterev at the 11.25 kilometer mark. But now it looks like he has pulled away and will finish for the first time on the podium, and Kuterev will need to reconcile with the fourth place. But we can see now Leonid Markov. Now it's 1 minute past. Now it will be 1 minute 15, something like that. 1 minute 15 behind the Johan Ekberg. But no doubts or no fear that he could lose his second place. After the third lap, he was 35 seconds in front of Prokofiev. Even Prokofiev could come closer, and that is more possible that Prokofiev will be closer. But 35 seconds, and now even if it's 20, 25, no, not 20, 25 will be. Yeah, Prokofiev has come closer to Markov, but the previous gap at 35 seconds was too large to give us some hope for Matvey. We can see now on the screen to have some sort of the second place. Yeah, 30 seconds passed. Could be the same and not close. It looked like that maybe he could be closer to Markov, but the same 35 seconds, 33, yes. 2 seconds he has come closer. He has come, but not significantly, only 2 seconds. And now 1 minute 49 behind Ekberg. It was 1:37, so Ekberg has been 12 seconds faster than Prokofiev on those last 2.5 kilometers on the last lap. Here we can see Alexander Kirilev has overtaken Kuterev, yesterday second place winner, and now the task for Vladislav to hold Kirillov back. Here comes then Stegny and Saulidis for the 6th and 7th, but now on the stadium, very soon in final straight, Johan Ekberg from Sweden. He will take 9th podium place in his career, 9th podium place. There's a Swede who was born in 2000 when his countryman Per Elofsson was dominating in cross-country skiing. Yes, Per Elofsson was very talented, but what a pity he had a back problem and had to finish too early. That year born Johan Ekberg from Sweden, now the World Cup standings leader in the junior men category. He first crossed the line. Yesterday was best, fastest in a prologue, and now he crosses the finish line as expected into the first place, and 9th podium place and 3rd victory for Johan Ekberg. Gratulerer med 3. seier i karriere her i rulleski og Johan Ekberg fra Sverige. Så vi skal høre du gamle du fria. Andre dag по ряд. And here comes the Russian Leonid Markov, который финишировал 3-м вчера. Сегодня на одну ступень выше, на 2-м месте. И 2-й раз он поднимется на подиуме. Он и участвовал зимой в сефтикаре, 2 фисовских гонки у него. И вчера первый раз участвовал в роллерах, и первый раз, конечно, уже в Кубке мира. Занял 3-е место. Сегодня он не оставил шансов ни Кутереву, ни Прокофьеву, ни Саулидису, ни Кириллову, и займет 2-е место. Поздравляем Леонида Маркова. We can congratulate Markov. Yesterday, in his first race in the World Cup in roller skiing, he earned his first podium place. 3rd he was. And today, he didn't leave any chance for Kuterev, Saulidis, Prokofiev, Kirillov, and crossing the finish line in a 2nd place, earning his 2nd podium place. 3rd and 2nd, that's the achievement for Leonid Markov here in Khanty-Mansijsk. And to his 60 yesterday's points, he will add another 80 and will have 100 points. And look at bib number 45, that's Matvey Prokofiev. Matvey, который вчера с 5-м места повторил достижение прошлого года, когда он тоже был 5-й последний день. И сегодня он первый раз пойдет в тройке на Кубке мира. Look at the speed from the Latvian Niks Saulidis in the battle for the 6th place. But here comes Kuterev and Kirillov in a battle for the 4th and 5th. So meanwhile, Matvey Prokofiev finishing in the 3rd place. He was only 86 during the winter, the National Junior Championships. And now the first podium place for Matvey Prokofiev. Поздравляем Матвея с первым подиумом. And yesterday's 2nd place winner, Vladislav Kuterev goes into the fourth, finishing outside the medals, but very good the last part. And Nick Saulitis will be sixth, and Alexander Kirillov, very good. Yesterday, Kirillov was sixth in his first roller skiing race ever, and already in a World Cup. And Kirillov now with the fifth place, best achievement for him. So well done for several Russians. With Markov, his best achievement, with Prokofiev, his first podium place, and also Nick Saulitis, good finish for the Latvian from Madona. So it's a Nick Saulīta ar lielisku finišu. Viņš parādīja, ka ir latviešos un madoniešos pulveris. Un rītdien, kad nebūs, diemžēl, translācija ar komentētāju, tad rītdien viņš varēs pacīnīties par godalgoto vietu. So Pavel Stegny, who finished seventh yesterday, finishing seventh today as well. Stegny competed last year in Khanty-Mansijsk, and best result came on the first day when he finished 10th. So third time in top 10 for Pavel Stegny, and a second time in the seventh place, repeating his best result in the World Cup races. Ivan Rezvov from Russia, who finished yesterday into the 11th place outside just top 10. First top 10 finisher for Ivan Rezvov at the World Cups. Yesterday he started very good, but lost some speed on the last part and finished outside top 10. Meanwhile, Alexander Volgin from Russia, 9th place, the same as yesterday. Now, bib number 62, that is from Thailand, but now bib number 52. That's Anton Savosin. Anton Savosin 12th yesterday, and now he has a chance to be the last man, but in the top 10, losing almost 4 minutes, or a little bit more than 4 minutes to the leader and winner Johan Egberg. And Anton Savosin, for the first time in top 10, 2 places higher than yesterday. So yesterday, top 10 was a Latvian from Madona, Ilvars Bisenieks. Let's wait for others. So we had 22 junior men competing. The last one was Sarabut Koitsin from Thailand, who started 14.5 minutes behind. But during the race, he lost already more than 20 minutes after the half distance. We can see Yegor Soldatkin for 33.6 behind into the 11th place. Soldatkin finished 17th, so 6 places higher today. Good race for Yegor. Daniel Zverev, famous tennis player, Zverev. But here cross-country ski Daniel Zverev into the 12th place, 1 place higher than yesterday he finished. So you can see the final standings at the finish in a top 10. So yesterday 7 Russians in top 10, today 8 Russians. So the same Swede Johan Egberg in the same first place, and Nick Saulitis 4th yesterday and 6th today. So look at Johan Egberg in front of Markov, 1 minute 22. They were separated by 33, so 50 seconds has been Johan Egberg faster than Leonid Markov. So 50 seconds to him, and looks like walking for the Thailand athletes. But of course it's very good that they are participating and developing their cross-country skiing and roller skiing, like a squirrel. Here in the Khanty-Mansijsk wood, looks a little bit hungry. And we, of course, are hungry. We had 3 races today, and still hungry to see the senior men race, also 15-kilometer classical style pursuit. That will start in some 17 minutes time, not 17 minutes, 7 minutes time. That will start in some 7 minutes time. 4:50 the local time in Khanty-Mansijsk. And here comes bib number 50. That's Latvian Ilvars Bisenieks, second best Latvian junior. Has been in top 10 last year in the World Cup races. Together with Nick Saulitis, finished 5th in a team sprint at the World Championships. But Nick Saulitis broke up the pole, not only in must-start distance, but also during the team sprint, the last leg, and that disturbed him to earn another medal and secure the first medal ever for Ilvars Bisenieks. Yes, Latvia, with Raimo Vigens and Nick Saulitis, earned first ever medal for Latvia in the World Roller Skiing Championship. For some countries, that's usual thing to win medals, to win plenty of medals. But for some countries, it's a great achievement to win the first podium place at the World Championships. Bib number 54, that's Artur Makovetsky. He was yesterday into the 14th place, and today he will finish in the 16th, just behind Latvian Ilvars Bisenieks. The 5 countries represented here, 22 athletes, so 6 athletes still on the course when 6 minutes remaining to the men's start. So Russia has won 7 medals, or not medals, 7 podium places today already. And they continue the same as yesterday, at least 2 in each group from Russia on the podium. So Slovakia has 1 victory, 1 medal, 1 podium place for Prochaskova, and 1 victory for Johanna Ekberg for Sweden. Other 7 podium places belongs to the local Russian strong team. Yes, Italian Gianmarco Gatti, yesterday 15th. Last year in Italy at the World Cup for juniors, 11th in classical style distance, 8th. The best result for him was 8th place in a sprint event. And now Bib 61, Andrei Antonov. Yesterday was penultimate place, 21st, but now into the 18th place, 3 places quite higher than yesterday. But will lose 8.5, no, not 8.5, but 10.5 minutes, because they started in not yes, if you lost more than 3 minutes, you started not according to your time, because then Cohen-Saint Sarawat, he lost 14:32, so can imagine that he had to wait. If he had to wait 14.5 minutes, then Johan Ekberg would complete half of the distance, and then Thailand athlete the start, and then the organization should wait so long time for him to finish. So, like usual rule, the wave, and then of course when you finish, then the time will be calculated to real loss of time from the yesterday's race. Also Ilya Proskurin, who finished 3rd in a sprint event last year here in Khanty-Mansijsk, and will be one of the contenders for the podium tomorrow. Yesterday finished 16th. Finished yesterday 16th, but today Ilya Proskurin did not start. Also Pavel Makarov and Nikita Berdyshev. So 19 athletes today. So only 1 remaining on the course. That's Sarawat Koetsin. Meanwhile, some 3 minutes remaining to the senior men starter. So yesterday, 4 countries won the first place. Russia in junior women, Italy in senior men, Sweden in junior men, and Slovakia in senior women. And now 3 countries in the 3 races, Russia, Slovakia, Sweden has won. And let's see whether today we will have also 4 nations winning, or a local country with Evgeny Dementiev will win first place. Now you can see the wave, the athletes together at the end. And now the winner, 2nd day in a row, Johan Ekberg. Some would say Johan Ekberg. But in the Swedish language, if you have R and G letter at the end, you pronounce like Eri. Therefore, it's like Thomas Wasberg, the famous Olympic and world champion from 1980s. And his famous victory in 1980, like placed games in 50-kilometer race with 1/100th of second in front of Juha Mieto, the giant Finn. And from that were adopted the decision that in the distance races, the smallest margin of the time is not 100 but 1/10 of the second. Now autographs from the 2nd day's winner in a row, Johan Ekberg, to the local small boys and girls, the younger cross-country skiers. Maybe some from them we will see here on the World Cup races in Khanty-Mansijsk in the future. Not only competing, but will be involved in a battle for the high places. Yes, Thailand's athlete Sarvat Koensin. So it's nice that Thailand improving. They could be very good in badminton. Meanwhile, senior men waiting at the start of their race, also 15 kilometers classical style pursuit like for the junior men. You can see with bib number 2, Olympic champion and silver medalist from Torino Games, Evgeny Dementiev. Yesterday's winner with bib number 1 on your screen, Matteo Tunnel from Italy. And bib number 57. That's Yegor Soldatkin having autographs for Matteo Tunnel. Igor Stavitsky finished 14th today. Yes, the senior men's group was the largest represented. The only group is more than 30 athletes. 34 competed yesterday. In comparison with the junior men, there are 22. Senior woman 19, apologizes, 20, because 19 finished, and the junior woman with 14 athletes. So, senior men, the largest represented. And here we can see the Thailand cross-country skier. He will lose like 26, 27 minutes approximately to the Johan Egberg, to 29 and a half. 29 and a half. Can imagine in the finish he will lose more than half hour. But let's try to support Thailand athletes doing what they can, and let's try to support them for what they are doing. And more nations, and that's also good. We would like to see more countries represented here. But totally it was 7, but today Norway not competing, it looks like. So 6 countries. So we can see athletes are getting ready. Dmitry Kozlov we saw with bib number 15. Here we can see Viktor Gustafsson in the leading the World Cup standings, yellow bib. Yet for the junior class we have a World Cup leader, red bib. For the senior class, yellow bib. Lindströmskar, despite not present here, also from Sweden, holds the yellow bib despite 2 victories from Prochaskova, but now only 34 points separating them. But after tomorrow's race, Alena Prochaskova will be, that's for sure, the leader. We can have more insight from the course, how it looks like here in Khanty-Mansijsk at the Filipenko Winter Sports Center. But all are waiting for this athlete from Thailand, and after he finishes, only then they will start the men's senior pursuit race. It's a few minutes remaining. Meanwhile, Viktor Gustafsson can give autographs to the young fans from Khanty-Mansijsk. You can see supporter from Thailand here, waiting for his athlete. Red, blue, white, the same colors as for Norwegian flag. Thailand flag has the same red, white, blue, the same colors, but completely different level in cross-country skiing. Now very soon 55 minutes will be passed. So the Initially, the start for the men was scheduled at 4:50 the local time. Now it's 4:55, so maybe they will start precisely at 5 o'clock. And of course, also like it's pursuit race, the start order according to the yesterday's results. And meanwhile, it's Sarvat Coensin. Last 30 meters remaining for him. Yes, the supporters are not much here, but who are there? That's a second race for him in career at the World Cup races. He started roller skiing last year when the roller skiing FIS race took place in Thailand, and then also during July months at the end. He competed in home ground in Thailand, and yesterday he was last, 22nd, today into the 19th place. So the second appearance for him at the World Cup. And he finished into the last 19th place. So in a few moments, we should have the senior men race. Meanwhile, we can see the conversation between the Thailand delegation and athlete. Of course, we don't understand what they are speaking about. And the final standings at the finish. Ekberg winning, Markov second, Prokopiev first, podium place into the third place. Kuterev yesterday second place into the fourth, Kirillov claiming up to the fifth, and yesterday's fourth place winner Nick Saulidis into the sixth. So Datkin 11th, Mullin into the 12th, Ilvas Bisineks into the 15th, the second athlete from Latvia here. Yeah, last year was more athletes, more countries, but okay. Next year maybe will be more. Yeah, in Latvia, in Madona, in the Smetser track, and also in Madona streets, that was the 9th World Championships, not counting roller games in 2000 in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands. Then in Madona, that was 9th World Championships. Also, Germany has hosted, also Norway, also Croatia, France. But Italy is the only country who hosted World Championships more than once, even 3 times. So maybe next turn will be for Russia, for Khanty-Mansijsk 2021. Now we can see Prokopiev, bib number 45, first finishing and first time on a podium. He can relax and smile and be happy despite his effort. Tank is almost empty, but satisfaction with his first podium place is more. And here we can see the battle between 2 Russians, and now Markov and Kuterev, and now Markov flying up the hill before the stadium area. Second podium place for him, and second fastest today, losing to leader almost 1.5 minutes. And now we can see the first starter, the yesterday's winner, Johan Ekberg for Sweden, had a good control. In the beginning he had a half-minute advantage to Markov and Kuterev, and then Swede pulled away gradually, reaching advantage 1 minute, then almost 1.5 minutes to the closest rivals. And a second victory here in Khanty-Mansijsk, and third victory for the Johan Ekberg in his career. Of course, a better result for him during the roller skiing championships. But in his winter, he finished 4th in a classical style must-start distance last year in a Swedish championship for the juniors on the snow.
Представители Таиланда Марк Чаму.
Now we can see on this lap, which is meant for the penalty loop during the winter when biathlon takes place here in Khanty-Mansijsk. Athletes warming up before the race. Now a 15-kilometer race for the men classical style pursuit. Now you will see the start line according to the yesterday's results.
15 kilometers pursuit classic. 10 minutes to the start.
It looks like another 10 minutes. We'll have to wait another 10 minutes.
He has counting up 13 seconds.
Meanwhile, we can look at the overall standings.
27 seconds.
According to my calculations, of course, easy to say that Johan Ekberg extends his lead. Nick Saulitis with the 6th place. Now have 180 points. He will overtake Dmitry Karakosov, but Grigoriev will stay in a 2nd place, and Saulitis will be 3rd now. And Ilvas Bisnieks will claim some places up. Kuturev will add another 50 points, will have 130, and Markov will have now 140. So Markov can move to top 5.
Он и чемпион мира в Мадоне в командном спринте, но тем не менее, кстати, он тоже доказывает его хорошую дистанционную рейсерскую скорость. Он еще и серебряный призер.
So not yet calculated FIS points for the junior men. They just finished. Let's see for the junior woman. So also not yet calculated, but that will be later. Remember, tomorrow is a sprint, and on the Sunday we will have the must start in free technique, the last day, the 4th race in Khanty-Mansijsk, Ugra capital, Ugra region. That's some 1,000 kilometers from capital Moscow. Also has a good ice hockey team, Khanty-Mansijsk Ugra. Let's see how many senior men will start today's race. Yesterday the last man was a famous sprinter. Alessio Berlanda, the 3 times world roller ski sprint champion. He finished more than 5 minutes behind the winner Matteo Tanel. So the 1st and the last place belong to the Italy, but the 2nd and 3rd to the Russians. So we had 6 nations yesterday, 34 athletes for the senior men. Russia, Italy, Sweden, Slovakia, Norway and Thailand. And 3 countries, Russia, Italy and Sweden, with more than 1 athlete, but 1 represented Slovakia, Norway and Thailand. So men also had a 11.25 kilometer race, the same as a junior men in prologue. And today they have also the same lengths, 15 kilometers in pursuit classical style. It could be also interesting battle for the 2nd and 3rd. In my reckoning, Yevgeny Dementer should be the favorite, but whether he will approve his favorite status, we will see. Also Swedes, Robin Nörem and Gustafsson, who finished according to the 5th and 6th place yesterday, losing 28 and 30 seconds to the Tunnel and 15 and 17 seconds to the Mentyev, could be threat to the Olympic champion from Torino Games. But Yevgeny Dementer, very nice, polite, simple. It's very nice to talk to him. Last 2 years, last year he competed in Madonna, also this year the World Championships. After last year he said that he's thinking to finish his career, but still has not done yet that. And of course he loves cross-country skiing, and he's also local from Ugra here. That's very good that Dementijev continuing and winning medals at the World Roller Ski Championship, meaning podium places. So Ilya Bezgin will be there, the former world junior sprint champion who were absent in Madona 1.5 weeks ago. So at the moment, provisionally, in advance, we have all 34 on the start line, but we will see at the end whether all really will start this pursuit race. Because under the big doubt is Ragnar Andersen, from Norway, who finished 23rd yesterday. He does not feel very good. Something with the health. Maybe he is affected from his girlfriend, Linn Sømskar, who was not here because caught cold. Så ikke så gode nyheter til norske tilhengere. Så det eneste nordmenn her er Ragnar Bragvin Andresen, verdensmester i lagsprint 3 ganger og 2 ganger individuell sprintvinneren i verdensmesterskapet rulleski. Deltok i går, var på 23. plass, men føler ikke seg bra. Så kanskje har noe tilknytning til hans kjæreste Linn Sømskar. Hun ble syk og har ikke mulighet til å komme her til russisk Khanty-Mansijsk, og Ragnar er sammen med Linn. Men vi selvfølgelig ønsker Andresen Ragnar å bli frisk igjen, og da han kjemper for seier i morgen i sprintøvelse. Sterkeste side for Ragnar Andersen, som vant verdensmesterskapet 1,5 uker siden i latviske by Madona. So, some 4 minutes remaining to the men's start here in Khanty-Mansijsk, Russia. FIS Roller Ski World Cup, 2nd year in a row it's organized. So yesterday prologue, today the pursuit, but also some athletes who are stronger in the free technique. They gave all the power to earn as a possible high place they can, and not counting on a good race today, or even not competing, but some who are relying on today's their classical style strengths. Maybe didn't give a maximum yesterday, saving some power, but as Dementijev admitted, for him it's better to go on maximum, then he has relaxed flexible muscles next day and can show better result. So for the men, the same 15 kilometers, the same 4 laps, 3.75 kilometer lap with first part uphill, some 30 meters, then small uphills, downhills in the middle of the lap, and then at the end some 28 meters downhill before the stadium. Look and see the start list and the time in the pursuit. You can see the Norwegian Ragnar Andersen losing 1.5 minutes into the 23rd, and he squeezed between the Russians. Yes, yesterday from 34, 2/3, almost 2/3 were Russians. 21 Russians competed there. Also Italians, I should say, were not so few.
Танел чемпион мира в командном спринте, серебряный призер в масс-старте. Но это все было в Мадоне. Сейчас другая история. Сейчас Khanty-Mansijsk. Остается...
It was 4 Italians.
Полторы минуты до старта. 1 minute 20 seconds to the start. Матео Данов, pit number 1. Евгений Дементьев, pit number 2. Иван Анисимов,
Or
pit
even
number
5
3.
years.
Pit number 4.
So Italy was the second largest nation here in senior men group.
6.
Actually, yes, with 6 athletes from Italy, 6. You can see third fastest yesterday, Ivan Anisimov. Even Anisimov finished last year World Cup stage in Khanty-Mansijsk with a third place in a sprint finish in Mustard, and opened this year with a third place. So very good races for Ivan Anisimov, podium places every year here in Khanty-Mansijsk, and of course he would be happy for the third podium place here in Khanty-Mansijsk. We can see athletes has taken their places in the start corridor. In front, yesterday's winner, Matteo Tunnel, wearing bib number 1. So, he lost. Yesterday's winner, Matteo Tunnel, started the race, so we're underway. He admitted that today's classical style race is not for him, but let's see, he can be very good in a classical style. But now the Olympic champion and silver medalist from Torino Games, Yevgeny Dementiev, is the second place winner here in a prologue, lost 13 seconds, and now Ivan Anisimov, third fastest man, and then followed by Francesco Bekis, Robin Gustafsson, Jan Koristek from Slovakia, Jacopo Giardina from Italy. Now Koristek in the green with bib number 7, Gardina from Italy, bib number 8. Has won the team sprint at the World Junior Cup and twice has been second. Of course, the task for Dementiev to catch, not maybe on 100% speed, but try to catch Matteo Tunnel as soon as possible, and then to relax a little bit. Together with Italian, try to work together, because he understands that the very strong athletes like Nørum, Gustafsson, Anisimov coming back behind him. I'm not sure about Francesco Bekis. Bekis is a sprinter, runner, secured the gold medal in dramatic sprint finish in team sprint 1.5 weeks ago in Madonna. He's very good in mustards, but with a free technique. But let's see what he will produce here in classical style. Bib number 5, Robin Nørum. Last 4 seasons, winner overall cup standings, but this season at the moment not so good for Robin Nørum. Of course, he would love to go at least in top 3, but for the victory that would be almost impossible task for the Swede, who has also some top 30 finish, top 20 finish during the winter at the cross-country skiing World Cup. Dementiev coming closer to Tunnel. Now it's some 4-5 seconds separated. Remember, it was 13 at the beginning. So Dementiev doing well. Yesterday he also started very good on the first part. Lost some time to Tunnel on the second part of the race. Gustafsson is a World Cup leader, but Robin and Nørum is lying in the 7th place, so losing almost 200 points to Viktor Gustafsson. Koristek also could be contender for the podium place today. Koristek had good results in China at the World Championship here in Latvia. He finished the best in a free technique mustard distance 6. He was last year he competed here with 10 places in a free technique distances, and 22nd he was in a sprint. Koristek here in Khanty-Mansijsk last year World Cup. Look at the also small spectators. Bib number 14, also working harder, Pavel Komarov. Here comes bib number 16, another Pavel Andreev, followed by Dmitry Kozlov. And very good start with 18, Yevgeny Tsepkov, not Chepikov. Chepikov was a famous biathlete, but this is Yevgeny Tsepkov in cross-country skiing. So then we will see. Yes, now Dementiev has catch a Tunnel, as his goal was in the first part of the first lap. So the 13 seconds were separating the bows, and yes, Dementiev himself admitted yesterday after the race that the 13 seconds is not such a small gap, but taking into account their skills in a classical style, Dementiev catched the tunnel without the problem, but maybe tunnel was a little bit too modest in his expression that today's classical style pursuit is not for him, because if we look back to the 8th of August in Madonna's Metzer track, on the first day of the World Championship, Tunnel finished fifth. Tunnel finished fifth in classical style, lost 2 minutes 22 to Bolshinov, but then Poroshkin lost, he was second, lost 1 minute. Remember, Chervotkin really finished second, 30 seconds behind, but was disqualified. So, behind Bolshinov, Poroshkin, Gustafsson, Ficke, Tunnel was fifth, and Tunnel actually beat Dementiev, yes, with interval start. That was classical style distance, and he beat Dementiev by 8 seconds. Dementiev finished sixth at the World Championships in Madonna, classical style distance. Yeah, Madonna also prepared very good new stadium with a new shooting range and new asphalt there. It's Metzer track, and also here in Khanty-Mansijsk in Filipenko Winter Sports Center, organizers has done a very good job to secure very high level here at the World Cup. Now we can see the group of 4 athletes, Anisimov, Bekis, Nørum and Gustafsson working together, and behind them some 30-40 meters, Jan Korestek from Slovakia on his own, 23rd at the moment in overall standings. Nørum has won the must start distances, the interval start distances, mainly in Madonna as well. Plenty of podium places, but he needs 1 podium place. He has never finished on a podium in individual distances this year. Only podium place came on the last day in Madonna at the World Championships in team sprint event, where he finished 3rd with Viktor Gustafsson, so at least, and then he didn't leave without the medal. Here we can see both leaders, Dementiev and Tunnel. So yes, 4 athletes unfortunately did not start. Berland, the 3 times roller ski sprint champion, Kurachkin, and 3 times team sprint champion Ragnar Andersen is not, so wish good health. Jeg ønsker at alt blir bra med helse. Ragnar Andersen skal vente deg tilbake i morgen i sprintøvelse. Vi er rød, hvite, blå. Vi skal kjempe for Norge. Korestek losing 9 seconds to the chasing group of 4 athletes, and Gustafsson, Nørum, Anisimov, Bekis is 27-28 seconds behind, and that's the same they started. So Dementiev and Tunnel working hard. Here comes another Italian, Michael Galassi, who finished 12th yesterday, born in 1990, finished 2 times 12 in World Championship Madonna in a classical style distance and in free technique with must start. Jacopo Giardina was second best, third best Italian yesterday, second best of Francesco Bekis. Giardina finished 8th. He was on a podium, Giardina, in a junior World Cup roller skiing. The best result for him in a senior class was 4th place 2 years ago in Croatia. And now let's follow the first 2 leaders which are approaching the end of the lap 1. They are approaching this beautiful stadium area in Khanty-Mansijsk. Matteo Tunnel and Evgeny Dementiev. Dementiev in front. Dementiev works in this duet in front. And Tunnel doing hard work, and he was playing on the public and maybe wanted that other athletes will not reckon with him, but of course, as I said before the race, that Tunnel we should reckon with, because he's 5th at the World Championship in classical style distance, and despite his the strongest part is a free technique, especially with the must start, where he finished second. He was silver medalist in a must start with free technique. So on Sunday he will be one of the main contenders for the victory again. But today he will try to lie on the back of Evgeny Dementiev and will try to battle for the second podium place here in 2 days in Khanty-Mansijsk. First lap completed in precisely 9 minutes, so they are going like 2.5 minutes, 1 kilometer. And let's look, the gap was 27, 28 seconds. Look, Gustafsson, not Gustav, but Robin Norum in front, looking back, saying that, hey, other guys try to work, it's enough for me. At the end of the first lap, that was 27, 28 seconds. That could be some 24, 25, but look, they are stopping almost, therefore it's not 25, but 32. So they're reckoning with that their aim is not to close a gap, to come closer, but to not to spend too much energy right now, to leave some energy for the final sprint in the battle for the third place, maybe. Here, Jan Koristek was not able to catch the quartet of Anisimov, Norum, Bekis and Gustafsson, and now he is together with Gafarov and Nordström in the battle for the 7th, 8th and 9th place, losing 50 seconds to the leading duet. Yeah, Anton Gafarov, yes, you recognize this famous sprinter who finished 12th. Yes, he was in a semi-final 5 years ago at the Olympic Games in a sprint. 2 years ago in Lahti at the World Championship, he was 17th, and then 10 years ago in Liberec World Championship, Gafarov finished 42nd in a sprint event. At the World Cups, 9 times Gafarov has been in a semi-final and 4 times in the final, with some podium places as well. Now the chasing group has lost one member, Francesco Bekis from Italy, and now 2 Swedes and 1 Russian, Gustafsson, Norum and Anisimov there, and Francesco Bekis starting to drop back. I said, yes, in a free technique, no problem for Bekis to stay in a group and even to win this sprint finish, but not in a classical style. Meanwhile, Dementiev working hard and Matteo Tunnel trying to follow. But Dementiev is a hard worker. Maybe sometimes he needs to rest a little bit and let other opponents, rivals, to do some work. But Dementiev has won last year. That was the last podium place and also last victory for Evgeny Dementiev. That was in Italy. Yesterday he was second. Yes, he was second. That was last victory for him last year. But the last podium place was yesterday was second place. And today, of course, Dementiev would like to step on the highest place on the podium as well. Anisimov on the left, in the middle, Gustafsson, the World Cup leader, in the yellow, and bib number 5, Robin Norum. Norum won 2015, 2016, 2017 and 2018 World Cup overall standings. Last year, Gustafsson was second best in overall standings and Dementiev was third. And now Francesco Bekis, another quartet. Francesco Bekis started in a quartet, now another three rivals together with him. That's Jan Koristek, Anton Gafarov and Gustav Nordström. For Gustav Nordström also, he's a sprint specialist, has been into the 12th and 15th place at the World Cup sprint event. That was 3 and 5 years ago in Slovenia and Switzerland. And 28th he was this year in the Dresden sprint in Germany. Also earned 3 points in overall during the winter. But for Nordström, best place is 4th in the World Cup roller skiing. That was last year achieved in Italy. Look at the both leaders, Russian and Italian. It looks like Dementiev will let a little bit the Tunnel to work, but Tunnel understands I'm not the good classical style runner. But he says, but of course he could do some work as well. From 27 to 32 seconds, move the gap. And now, very soon, Tunnel and Dementiev will reach the intermediate in the second lap. 26 and 29 is Burmetsky and Fartushko, the Russian athletes, and 28, that's Ivan Lilov, also Russian. The Russians are more than 20 competing here. Still Dementiev in front of this leading duet. Of course, Dementiev we remember mostly from Olympic Games in Torino with 2 medals, gold and silver. In skiathlon he beat through the S still the Norwegian classical style master and also very good finisher. Of course, not so good as Thomas Alsgaard or Petter Northug, but Frude still was also very good finisher. And Dementiev beat him in the skiathlon. And then on the last day in 50-kilometer race, we remember Dementiev was very close for his second goal, but the local favorite Giorgio Di Centa out-sprinted him and took the gold. And the Italians could hear the small girl singing on the closing ceremony, Fratelli dall'Italia, Italia se sta, this national anthem, the very beautiful melody on the closing ceremony. Yes, in the summer games we have the marathon winner anthem on the closing ceremony, but for the winter games the anthem of the winner of the 50-kilometer race. Here comes on the second lap, second intermediate, Dementiev in front, Tunnel following behind. 6.15 kilometers in 15 minutes and 10 seconds completed for the both leaders. And let's see the closest chasing group with Gustafsson, Nörum and Anisimov from Russia. They lost 27 at this point in the first lap, 32 seconds they were behind on the at the end of the first lap, but now they are approaching and it will be more than 30, not more than less than 30 seconds, some 27, 28 seconds. But look, they could go faster, but Nörum looking, Gustafsson looking to the Anisimov, now 29 seconds, 29. I thought that maybe Tunnel for the first time went in front, but no, that's Mikhail Galassi and Pavel Andreev. But now the quartet from the 5th to 8th place. Anton Gafarov, Jan Koristek, Gustav Nordem and Francesco Beckis. They're losing 59 seconds, almost a minute, we can say minute behind. After the first lap, they lost to the leaders less than a minute. That was 49.50 seconds, so another 10-12 seconds has been added. So they are not in a position to battle for the podium. The podium place, the last third will be decided between Anisimov, Gustafsson and Nörum most likely. But now we can watch on the downhill. So the last half kilometer remaining for them, and then they approach the end of the half distance or a second lap. Still both together, and Yevgeny Dementiev in front of Matteo Tunnel. So for Tunnel, yesterday was a 4th time on a podium. Meanwhile, Dementiev also has been 4 times on a podium. So 5th podium place could come for them today at the 15 kilometers pursuit. 7.5 kilometers in 17 minutes and some 40 seconds for the leaders. And here comes a chasing group of the 3 athletes, 2 from Sweden, 1 from Russia. So Nörum and Gustafsson. Gustafsson, the world champion in must start free technique, and now 17.55. And now they start penultimate 3rd lap. Gustafsson, Nörum, Anisimov. The order of those 3. So Anisimov has been twice on a podium last year here, and also on the first day has been in a semi-final. Anisimov during the winter cross-country season in a sprint event, and now that was 29 and now 36. Some problem with Robin Nörum. It looked like he broke the pole. So another 7 seconds. Dementiev Tunnel added to the chasing trio. Here comes another group. They understand that, Gustafsson, Nörum and Anisimov understand that they cannot slow down, because the chasing group Anton Gafarov, the famous sprinter, into the 6th place. Koristek then followed, Gust Nordström, Beckis, and let's look. Looks like everything okay with Robin Norum. Has a change, has new pole, maybe not so good. That was the right pole. Gustafsson leading this trio in the 3rd, 4th and 5th. Anisimov now from Russia squeezed between the 2 Swedes. Meanwhile, Anisimov won the silver medal at the National Championship Sprint event 4 years ago. And you understand quite good what means silver medal, a medal in the Russian Championship in a sprint event. And Anisimov, together with his teammate, won 4th place in Madonna, the World Championship team sprint. Standings after the 2nd lap, the half distance, Demентiev Tunnel battling for the 1st place. Then Gustafsson and Anisimov will decide the last podium place here. Yes, Dementiev working hard. But Dementiev, if will not manage to pull away from Tunnel, then Tunnel could be dangerous. Yes, we remember Dementiev was very good finisher. Norwegians were frightening him some 10 years, 14 ago. But now, of course, he's a veteran, born in 1983, 36 years of age, and not so fast on the last thing. Now they're trying to talk and agree who will be in the front. Gustafsson stays in front, then Anisimov and Norum, and some another half minute behind them. Gafarov, Koristek, Nordström, Beckis. Not so far away from Intense, Galassi and Andreev. Meanwhile, a flower ceremony there in the stadium for the junior men, where Johan Egberg won, and now the national anthem of Sweden, Du gamle, du frie, du fjällhöga nord, is played. But we are watching the senior men race, the 3rd lap. The chasing group of Francesco Beckis, Jan Koristek, and Gustav Nordström, and Gafarov has pulled away from them and stabilizes in the 6th place. Meanwhile, Dementiev and Tunnel in front. We can see that Dementiev working hard, using his arm power, shoulder power. But Tunnel at the moment stays, it looks like, not with the big difficulties. For the men, remember, in the 3rd lap, the crucial moments in the battle for the 3rd place happen. And on the last lap for the ladies, in the battle between Prochaskova and Nikolaeva. But for the first time, maybe we will be able to watch the sprint finish. So many spectators are so eager to see sprint finishes that that's my opinion, that too much must starts. So also interval starts are also have some excitement, especially 50-kilometer race. So you do 2 hours sitting and nothing happens, except like Johan Olsson winning in Val di Fiemme 50-kilometer race. Then something happened also, like now in the Seefeld, Christopher Horlon from Norway pulled away, then Bolshinov tried to catch him, then something happening. But otherwise you can switch on TV just 5 minutes before the finish, and then the last exciting moment. But so interval starts needed. So Gustafsson, Norum and Ivan Anisimov still tightly together. Of course, the best finisher could be Viktor Gustafsson on roller skis. In the winter, that would be Anisimov, the sprinter. Robin Norum, not so good a finisher. He's very good in interval starts, but of course not the bad finisher as well. And here, still in front, Dementiev. 3rd lap intermediate. At the 9.9 kilometer mark. Almost 10 kilometers behind the two leaders in 24 minutes and some seconds. On a previous occasion, they led 36, 37 seconds in front of others. We can see the gap would be almost the same. This group of Nørim, Gustafsson, Anisimov hasn't come closer. That the 36-second gap will be more than 40. And it's interesting how much time they are in front of Gafarov, Koristek and Nordström. Here comes a 3, looking a little bit back, looking for the closest rivals. Yeah, more than 40, 48, 47 seconds. But comparing to Gafarov, Koristek and Nordström, they were some 25 seconds in front. And here comes Nordström, Gafarov and Galassi. Not Becky, Italian in this company, but instead of Becky, Galassi. 25 seconds, and now they are 27 seconds behind the chasing group of Anisimov, Gustafsson and Nørim, but a minute and 15 behind the leading two, Dementiev and Tunnel, what we can see right now on the screen. So they are on downhill, some 300, 350 meters remaining for them to complete the penultimate lap number 3. Very soon we will see them approaching the stadium, and still nothing has happened between them two. Nobody has managed to pull away. Of course, mainly relates to the Dementiev, who is stronger from those two in a classical style distance, but Tunnel is very good with a staying with, especially in a free technique. But Tunnel has done very good job also today. Of course, the Russians supporting Yevgeny Dementiev, Davai, Davai, Zhenya. They are screaming. That's like, go, go, Yevgeny. But some Italians also here and screaming, Forza, Forza, Matteo. Primo posto. Yeah, he won yesterday, and Italians would like for Matteo to win second day in a row. In the 26 minutes 45 seconds, something like that, they will finish the lap number 3, 11.25 kilometers. Yes, today the slower rollers. And here comes a chasing group which is still together, consisting of Nørim in front, Gustafsson in a second, and Anisimov in the third. But remember, Anisimov is dangerous. He's a sprinter, and now he is letting the two Swedes do the job. At the moment, they can also a little bit stop, because the advantage to the next chasing group is 27 seconds. That was at the 9.9 kilometer mark. But to the leading two, they lost 47, 48 seconds. Here comes the next group, which is led by Anton Gafarov, the bib number 13, then Nordström, and then Galassi. 2, 3, 3, the main three groups in the battle from the first to 8th place, and then into the 9th, Pavel Andreev, Francesco Beckis, Jan Koristek, losing more than 1.5 minutes to the leading two, Dementiev and Tunnel. Gafarov, Nordström, Galassi completing lap number 3 into the 6th and 7th and 8th place, and will lose a minute and 20, something like minute and 20. A minute and 90, yes. It was a minute and 15, so another 5 seconds being added to this chasing group. And now on the last lap, the leaders and also the first 8 athletes started the last 4th lap. 3.7 kilometers remaining. Now Anisimov squeezed now in the center of those 3. Like 2 Swedish bodyguards securing this Anisimov. Of course, Gustafsson understands. He tries to make some movement, but at the moment not capable of moving away from Anisimov and Nurum now. Also Andreev and Koristek has completed, so 10 athletes completed the third lap, a little bit more, 17 now. Koristek in the 10th, then Francesco Beckis 11th, Tsepkov 12th, Komarov 13th, Petrov 14th, Silfer, Eric Silfer, yes, who is not having such a good days here in Khanty-Mansijsk. Yes, they finished only 20th place. 4 times in the winter has been top 30 at the World Cups, 28th in Skiathlon, 21st in sprint last year in Korea. But now, let's focus on Gustafsson, who tries to pull away. It looks like few meters, some 7-8 meters he has managed to pull away. He's a good finisher on the final straight as well, but at the moment it looks like he doesn't want to leave everything on the final straight. He starts to pull away, and that's not only 7-8, it's now 15 meters separating Gustafsson and Anisimov and Nurum. Nurum needs some podium place here in the World Cup, but it looks like his teammate Gustafsson will be third today. You know, Gustafsson finishing behind Nurum yesterday. Both Swedes were separated by 2 seconds. Nurum in the 5th and Gustafsson in the 6th place. That was Russian girls looking on and in the battle for the first 2 places as well, still together. At this point for the ladies race, Prochaskova were away from Nikolaeva and the winner were decided, but now it looks like we could have the first, but it's too early, some 1.5 kilometers remaining to the finish. Still Dementiev in front of Matteo Tunnel from Italy. Both are very good finishers. Let's see who will be the better finisher in the classical style, but maybe Dementiev will try to make some move before the stadium area. Matteo Tunnel competed also a few years ago at the World Junior Championships. And as I said, the best result from him in Classic was so far the 4th place. So that's for sure that the first podium place for Tunnel in classical style roller ski distance will come. That's for sure. Now number 19, that's Adamir Alimbekov from Russia. Lying in the 18th place so far. And again, we can follow the leaders. The small downhill in the middle of the lap. And Dementiev trying to do hard work, but still has not managed to pull away from Matteo Tunnel, but contrary to Dementiev, Viktor Gustafsson, the World Cup leader, has managed to pull away from Anisimov and Nurum. And look at the gap, look at this gap. Only now at the end of this screen we can see Nurum and Anisimov. So Gustafsson has opened a gap of some 100 meters and coming towards the podium place here in Khanty-Mansijsk. Last year he won the first day and then finished 2 times on a 2nd place. So at least 1 podium place Gustafsson has here in Khanty-Mansijsk. And 9 times he has stepped on the podium in World Cup roller ski. So the 10th podium place could follow for the Viktor Gustafsson, the Swede. And now it looks like Yevgeny Dementiev has made the gap some 5 meters, but that could be crucial here. Matteo Tunnel now working very hard not to let Dementiev pull away. But the Russian supporters would be happy. Now Tunnel, yes, Tunnel has worked very hard and now closed this 5 meters gap. It looked like we could see the decisive move in this race in the battle for the victory, but no, Matteo Tunnel did not let that happen, and now is back shoulder to shoulder with Yevgeny Dementiev. Now on his own alone, Viktor Gustafsson from Sweden. On the last time, on the lap 3, he was together with Nurum and Anisimov, but now he's on his own. On the last intermediate, he was behind the first 2, Dementiev and Tunnel, almost minute 57 seconds. Now, of course, he has approached them and has come close by some 15 seconds, and only some more than 30, just 36 seconds separating. So he has gained some 20 seconds. Viktor Gustafsson pulling away. Of course, he needs maybe not now thinking about saving some energy, but maybe some 300-400 meters before the finish, when the coaches will announce that he is in a quite sure third place. Now Nurum in front of Anisimov in a battle for the fourth and the fifth place. The gap between the first two, the Mentiev tunnel, has remained the same, 57-58 seconds, but now Gafarov, Nordström and Galassi in a battle from the 6th to 8th place, still together, and they will lose some a minute and 30. It was a minute and 20 early. But Gafarov also will try to rely on the finishing abilities, what he has shown during the winter. And still both together. Some 300 meters remaining to the finish. The Mentiev and tunnel still closely together. So for the first time from the 4 races, we are having the exciting sprint finish. Early Prohaskova, Belinko and Egberg won convincingly, but now the first sprint finish could be. Here is a possibility for Dementiev. Remember from Sapporo, here he went away from Swede Södergren, but better Northug than went away and won with his first famous sprint finish. Now Dementiev tried to pull away from Matteo Tunnel. That would be fair, that one day one wins and second day another victory. So we'll change the places. Evgeny Dementiev, who last time won 1 year ago in Italy, 20-kilometer classical style pursuit race. Now he will do the same again in pursuit race. Yesterday he finished second, and now he will 5th time in career in World Cup races in roller skiing, will finish on the podium, and here will come another victory. Second place on Thursday in prologue. And now congratulations to Olympic champion Evgeny Dementiev with the victory. Finally, he was aiming at the victory here, a little bit angry to his race yesterday. And congratulations. Поздравляем Евгения Дементьева, который сегодня хотел победить, и это сделал. Молодец, Евгений Дементьев. Also congratulations, felicitazioni, Matteo Tunnel, secondo posto. The winner yesterday goes into the second place. That's very, very good that he stayed with Evgeny Dementiev, because he said that is not his day in this race in classical style pursuit. But second place for the first time, Matteo Tunnel on a podium in classical style roller skiing. And here comes the world champion in free technique must-start distance, Viktor Gustafsson, also bronze medalist in the classical style interval start, and bronze medalist in team sprint. Viktor Gustafsson, yesterday 6th and first podium place here in Khanty-Mansijsk for Viktor Gustafsson. Congratulations, gratulerer Gustafsson med tredje plats. And here comes Anisimov and Robin Norum. Anisimov, who is very good in a sprint, has proved that with the semi-final place at the World Cup races in cross-country skiing, out-sprinting Robin Norum, who is very good in interval starts. Anisimov goes into the 4th place and earns second best achievement here. Yesterday he was a 3rd. Robin Norum repeats his yesterday's success with the 5th place, second day in a row. But Anton Gafarov, the famous winter sprinter, will go into the 6th place. Anton Gafarov, yesterday he was a 6th on the first day. That was best result for Anton so far, and he repeats. Oh no, Gustav Nordström out-sprinting Anton Gafarov, so Anton Gafarov is 1 place lower than last year on the opening day. Yes, Anton Gafarov, who has been 17th and 42nd in the World Championship sprints, 12th at the Olympic Games, semi-finalist in the Sochi Games, and 2nd in Kusumo 6 years ago, and 3rd in the Rybinsk 10 years ago. So the 2 podium places at the World Cup winter for Anton Gafarov, 4 times in the final. But Nordström out-sprinting him, who has been in a semi-final at the World Cup races in Slovenia 3 years ago. 15th he was in Switzerland 5 years ago, and this year 28th among the top 30 in Dresden, finishing 6th. So yesterday he was 9th. Here comes bib number 20. That's Erik Silfer. That's 3 places higher than yesterday for Erik Silfer, who has been on the podium in the roller skiing World Cup, but 20th and 17th for him so far. Jan Koristek only 13th, so not so good day for the Slovakian. Koristek started this World Cup stage in Khanty-Mansijsk with 7th place and could try to move up, but Yes, he was sixth at the World Championship with free technique, so free technique is more suitable for Jan Koristek, so classical style 13th today. Damir Alimbekov goes into the 18th place, and now the Savin, it looks like Swan. No, that's not the legendary Gunde Swan's name, but the letters in different orders, so that's Savin Daniel from Russia. Yes, Gunde Swan was dominating in the 80s and beginning of 90s. The last time he won the World Championship medal was in 1991 in Val di Fiemme. And now the interview with Evgeny Dementiev, the winner of today's race. How he's evaluating today's race. He's answering simply, I just went simply and that's all. And now bib number 29 approaching the finish. That's Viktor Fartushko in the battle for the top 30 places. Could be the last finisher. Mark Chanlong from Thailand finished in 29th. Yeah, Mark Chanlong also competed during the winter Zeefeld World Championships. But look at the flag colors. Evgeny Dementiev Russian flag looks like that's the Netherlands flag. Luxembourg and the Netherlands flag, not the typical Russian flag. So the second day comes to an end here in Khanty-Mansijsk at the World Cup roller skiing. And still two athletes there.
Через 10 минут состоится церемония награждения, цветочная церемония награждения победителей и призеров мужской гонки преследования на 15 километров. In 10 minutes we will start our ceremony of the men's race.
Looks like Dmitry Kozlov, bib number 15, and then Alexander Burmensky, not Besmertnych. Besmertnych is a much higher caliber athlete, but Burmensky. And only now, Jacopo Gardina, who was 8th yesterday. Look at the final standings. Yes, many countries, not only Russians like in the previous groups. Dementiev wins now with the correct Russian flag. Here Tunnel, 2nd place, and Gustafsson 3rd. Then Francesco Beckis, who finished yesterday into the 4th place, just behind the podium. Missing just 1.3 seconds to Ivan Anisimov, today 11th. 11 posto Francesco Beckis, Jacopo Giardina 26. Again the Thailand flag. So today 6 countries competed. Russia, Norway, not Sweden, Slovakia, Italy, Latvia and Thailand. And it means that today Matteo Tunnel was close to repeat yesterday's, not only his own success, but also team success. But Dementiev won, and it means that Russia today won 2 victories. Arina Belinko junior class, Evgeny Dementiev senior men category. Eleni Prochaskova won the senior woman, and Johanna Ekberg junior men. So 3 countries today won the first places. That Russian team with 2 victories, 3 second places and 3 third places, earns 8 medals. So once again the same collection of podium places like Thursday. Yesterday Italy won 2 podium places. Today Sweden is a team who earns 1 victory, 1 third place with 2 podium places. Italy with 1, and Slovakia also with 1. So the first 2 days, look at the summary, look at the first 2, Dementiev and Tunnel. Yes, the first, as there was a small interview with Anton Gafarov, the 2-time podium place winner at the winter cross-country skiing sprint event. He said that was very nice to compete today. That was a nice atmosphere. The supporters were screaming, supporting. The same fantastic atmosphere was in the streets of Madonna. But first 2 days took a place at this Filipenko Winter Sports Center in Khanty-Mansijsk, Ugra capital. And tomorrow the sprint, and on the Sunday the must-start distance in free technique will take place in the city center. So maybe more spectators will be there. So we are looking forward. But tomorrow won't be commenting. So I will return back on the Sunday. So the media commentator Ivars Bacis from Latvia, like live stream commentator today. Myself also the speaker of the World Championships in Madonna. Now the athletes are getting ready for the flower ceremony, the last flower ceremony for today's race. During the men's race, the flower ceremony for the junior men took place. Now happy, smiling Yevgeny Dementiev, taking picture with some of the volunteer, the youngsters. So many pictures. Конечно, отзывчивый очень Евгений Дементьев, может быть довольным победой сегодня. Может делать фотографии с своими болельщиками и волонтерами, которые очень тоже помогают, чтобы на высоком уровне проводился этот Кубок мира по лыжероллерам. Of course, a happy Victor Gustafsson with his podium place, usually eating his Snickers. So maybe tomorrow in a sprint, 4 o'clock local time will start the qualification, and then the best 16 will qualify for the quarterfinal stage for some groups. I'm not sure for the junior women. The jury will decide how many. Maybe eight will qualify, because 14 girls we have seen so far. Maybe some who are specialized in sprint. Yes, I remember I was talking with Bolshanov and Nepraeva in Madonna at the World Championship. They both said that no, they have not to train specially to this 200 meters sprint. That's a different. Of course, some say that the roller skiing is different to the cross-country skiing. Of course, they have difference, but the sprint 200 meters is very, very different to the winter 1.5 kilometers for the men, 1.2 usually for the women. So the same Alessio Berlanda, Emanuele Becchi, Italians so good in 200 meter sprint. Both have won several times World Championship roller ski sprints, but never so high places for the 1.5 kilometers sprint roller skiing. The same was in China at the first World Cup in the beginning of July. So Victor Gustafsson in the leading bib. So Victor Gustafsson had 350 points. Now he will have 450. Will increase his lead. Before the Khanty-Mansijsk yesterday's race, Ragnar Andersson took lead over his teammate Johannes Høsflot Klæbo, who was dominating in China, but was absent in Madonna. But now in Norway has started Top Idrettsveka. Before was Bling Festival, and the strong Norwegian athletes, of course, prefers competitions in Norway with the prize money. But of course that would be very nice if they would compete at the World Cup races. But roller skiing developing, of course not so popular so at the moment like cross-country skiing, but who knows, in a few years time maybe roller skiing will be very close in popularity to cross-country skiing. Yes, easy finish here. Decisive movement was some 200 meters before the finish for Yevgeny Dementiev. He started the second, 13 seconds behind Matteo Tunnel. And after 1 year, another victory comes for Yevgeny Dementiev. Yeah, the World Championships in Madonna. Dementyev was 6th in classical style distance and finished 5th, being best Russian in free technique distance with must start in city center of Madona. Yes, best Russian with the 5th place. So 7th was Chervotkin, and Bolshinov was 9th. Bolshinov also very good finisher, but not there. And Nepraeva could battle for the podium, quite sure, but Nepraeva lost, not the lost pole, but broke the pole some kilometer and a half before the finish. But it was nice that Bolshinov and Nepraeva competed there, the big guns, the stars of that World Championships in Madona. Bolshinov also Sollefteå in Sweden in 2017 competed, where he won the gold. Also in not in Sollefteå, but in Italy 2015, Evgeny Dementyev won the gold in free technique distance and silver in classical style uphill. But very soon we'll follow the flower ceremony. The best 3 will be presented the flowers. The award ceremony will follow later. So this is the last day here in this Filipenko Winter Sports Center. As I told, next 2 days will take place in Khanty-Mansijsk Center. And now congratulations with Viktor Gustafsson, the Swede. He's been 4 times in the top 20 at the national championships in the winter. So of course, main strength from Gustafsson in the roller skiing. The 2-3 medal winner at the World Championship 1.5 weeks ago. And now the silver medalist in must start distance and the gold medalist in a team sprint in Madonna World Championships, Matteo Tunnel. Yesterday's winner goes into the 2nd place today. And he looks quite happy. And finally, world champion in roller skiing from 2015, Olympic champion cross-country skiing 2006, 5 times on a podium in winter. And of course, the only victory in 2005 in Falun in Sweden for Dementyev in the winter cross-country skiing. And he wins again. And now in the honor of the winner, Russian national anthem. Поздравляем Евгения Дементьева. Ну что ж, дорогие друзья, дорогие болельщики, очень хороший день у российских спортсменов. Вновь 8 медалей, призовых мест и 2 победы сегодня у России. Евгений Дементьев и Арина Белинк. Ну, год назад Дементьев слушал гимн России в честь своей победы. Но надеемся, что это не последний раз, когда Дементьев победил. Желаем успехов ему и в будущем, несмотря на то, что он уже ветеран 36 лет. So the 2nd victory for the Russian team, won again 8 podium places, 2 podium places for Sweden, 1 for Slovakia, 1 for Italy. So the same 4 nations, Russia, Sweden, Slovakia, Italy, won the podium places on the 2nd day at the World Cup roller skiing here in Khanty-Mansijsk, Russia. Still 2 days to come, and tomorrow they will turn to the city center for the sprint event, which will start 4 o'clock local time. Maybe some 5th country will finally earn the podium place here. Maybe that will be Norway, maybe Latvia. lucky tomorrow. But the main 4 countries, Russia, Sweden, Slovakia, Italy, will be the main contenders also for tomorrow. Still 2 days to come, that's nice. Tomorrow, as I said, a sprint without the commentary, but I will return back on a Sunday. So I hope you enjoyed the race. I hope you are happy for your team results. It was me, Ivars Batsis, together with you as a commentator. Have a nice evening and have a good results and a nice competition tomorrow in the 3rd day of the World Cup roller ski in Khanty-Mansijsk. Bye-bye.